championship titles. This is more of her strength for Yaraji. Ine Kongan lowered her lifetime best to 13.22. Just a couple of months ago, again, Prasant, lifetime best of 13.15, 13.33 this season, national champion from 3 years ago. Jali completes the lineup. She'll go from lane 7. Also in the form of her life this season, 13.35. And the indoor Indian champion over 60 meters hurdles. Good starter.
The Yarachi Richard is coming back after a layoff of virtually a year injury. And I remember talking to the coach from England, James Hiller, who is the high performance director at the Reliance Academy. He said we're going to take each step by step again here, because the injury obviously 1 year. And very surprising that she's doing both the hurdles and the 100 meters in a span of just about an hour and a half.
Training, I guess, for the major games coming up. So checking back in with the women's discus again. It's Insang with her penultimate attempt. She's now dropped down to 3rd place because Dimaraish has gone out in front, 58 meters 66. Just saw her head into the circle. Samantha Hall, 58.43. She sits in 2nd, and Insang dropping down to 3rd there. So Seema Karanda has moved out of the top 3. 56.88 for Insang, so it's no improvement for her. Lot going on, isn't there? But in 3 field events, we've got the women's high jump, which we've checked in with very recently. The women's discus is now coming to a conclusion. The men's shot put just about to get started as well. It is a packed program for this first edition of the silver level of the World Athletics Continental Tour.
What an atmosphere this is here at the Kalinga Stadium. The lights are up here. Just 4:49 by my watch. Drizzled a wee bit. It was threatening to rain, but the rain god said, let us watch a lot of athletics as well. That's the big man. That's the man whom has been around for quite some time. Tejinder Pal Singh Tour. He is the national record holder. And 21.77. So the lineup once again for you. Sanjay of Haryana. Tilak Bahadur of Nepal. Tour representing Punjab. There is 228. The double Asian Games champion 2018 and then in 2025 you got also the 2026 Commonwealth Games champion and the world and Olympic finalist in Ekwechi of Nigeria. Dual passport, the American and the Nigerian. Indianapolis, Lafayette is where he comes from, the University of Lafayette. Very, very jovial boy, Richard. Very, very jovial.
Oh yes, yeah, very friendly. And he's also talking about how he's at a different time of his career now, where he's in his mid-30s. He wants to experience new things. I asked him what drew him to come to India, and you know, he had that privilege as an athlete to travel the world. So getting this competition underway. It's a tour. Over 19 meters to start with. We're expecting him. He'd want to go closer to around 21 meters to really threat today, but he's happy with that. It's just a little bit of a sighter, just a little bit of a warmer, a little arm loosener for the tour. That's what a lot of them will be doing. They've been out there warming up for a little bit, but when he's obviously really starting to throw in earnest now.
I think fast bowlers have all stopped doing that because they want a wicket of the very first ball.
It's almost a surprise now when they deliver a good ball, isn't it? It catches the batsman out, or batters out. So into round 6, the final round now of the women's discus, and Queenie Ting Kungni sits in 8th place. Her best from round 3, 47 meters 48. Not missing anything on the track. We're just a couple of minutes away from the start of the women's 100 meters hurdles. So this is the final round of the women's discus. Gave it a big roar. It's fallen short of 50 meters once again for Queenie. It might be a slight improvement though. We'll bring you up to date with that in a moment. The athletes just getting ready to settle into their blocks. first of the women's track events of this meet. I'll remind you of the lineup very shortly. Focus here on Charisma Taylor and Jyoti Garaji, two of the favourites for this race. It's pretty even, I have to say. Tough to pick a favourite here. Yumi Tanaka will maybe not be that happy to be drawn out in lane 1 there. She'll look to steam in on the inside. Out there for a little bit of time now. It's not cold out there, of course. It's early 30s degrees Celsius. So very good for the sprinters. In terms of the conditions out there, so it's been drizzle, rain coming and going. It's not been particularly much of a downpour so far. I guess really looking at the sprint disciplines or the track disciplines, this is probably the event where you don't really want to have any concerns over your footing. You want to be able to clear the hurdle at full pelt. You want to be able to make sure that your stride is exactly as you want it to be. You don't want any concerns that you might end up just losing your footing slightly, but conditions are pretty good for sprinting. So a reminder then of the lineup. In 1, Yumi Tanaka. Asian Championships silver medalist Victoria Alves of Brazil goes in lane 2. Lifetime best of 12:57 achieved this season. Charisma Taylor, one of the class athletes in this field. 12:63, her lifetime best. So back in 2024, racing this distance this season. Jyoti Garaji, season's best of 12:85, not far off that lifetime best for the 2-time Asian champion. Dini Kongan looking to drop closer to around the low 13s. Constant is in the same boat, 13:33, her season's best, capable of going quicker than that, 13:15, her lifetime best, and Anjali is in a very similar position to Prasant Sahu there in terms of their season's best, almost identical times for them. The favourites from lane 1 to 4. Just settling down.
One picture I've always loved.
It's the issue here with the just clearing up water bottles before they get going here. As the athletes are trying to focus just on their lane. Just disrupt their rhythm a little bit. The slaps of the thighs you often see with the sprinters as they get ready to settle into their blocks. 10 lane straight this. We're expecting to see a 10-lane final in only 100 meters a little bit later on. So get ready for this. Tanaka goes in 1, Alves in 2, Taylor in 3, Garaji in 4, Kongan in 5, Sahu in 6, and Jali in lane 7. This is the women's 100 meters hurdles. Last look down the track from Kongan. Has to settle. Get away cleanly. It's not a bad start from Taylor. Maybe Taylor just about, but Garaji is trying to come back at her. We're going to get a fall there from Alves. She's had to check out, but Taylor is still going strong. It's going to be Taylor that takes this just ahead of Yumi Tanaka. Unofficial time of 12:90. Not a bad way to start the women's program here. It was a messy on the outside from Alves. She tried to keep it together and get herself back on track, but once you hit the hurdle and lose your balance, it's very hard to do that. And you're also trying to stay in your lane too. And Charisma Taylor came into this as the favourite, and she has taken the win here. Let's take a look at this one once more. It was a stronger start from Taylor. And I did mention just watch Tanaka on that outside there, and this is where it all went wrong for Alves. She actually did step into Tanaka's lane, so she wouldn't have been able to continue anyway, but still tried her best. Pretty clean all the way through there from Taylor. 12:96, the official winning time, the only athlete to dip below 13 seconds.
So far, it's my first time in India. here.
What attracted you to coming to this competition?
Well, it's somewhere I've never been before, and I'm someone who likes to venture out, so I thought it was a perfect opportunity.
Well, congratulations on your race today. It was a strong finish, a dominant win, and it was really exciting to have you here at the Indian Open. Congratulations. Woo-hoo! I also have the pleasure of
What a
speaking
star
with
cast
our
we have out
seventh-place
here.
finisher from Japan, Yumi Tanaka. Have you competed in India before, and what has your experience been like racing here?
Yeah, it is my first time in India, and I'm with the Yalaji a few times in the Asian Games and Asian Championships. So I'm really happy to come here and run with her.
Are you preparing for the Asian Games? Is that what's next?
I cannot join the Asian Games, but I have few races. Yeah, I'm gonna do my best.
Congratulations on your performance today. One.
Well, just bring you up to date with what's happening out on the infield. I mean, watching the women's discus, we're going to go to shot put in just a moment, but it has been won by Andressa de Moraes. So we check in again with the shot. That is Tilak Bahadur. No, it might be actually Rai Bahadur Singh. Excuse me, from Nepal. There's the big man, Chokanatwechi. Not being particularly specific when you talk about a big man in shot put, is it? To be honest, lots of big men throwing heavy things.
5 feet 11 inches when you look at him and look at the likes of Kovacs or Krauser, 6 feet 5, 6 feet 6 inches.
I just saw, just in the background, Sanyam Sanjay, his attempt throwing his arms up in the air, red flag you can see just being raised there. So I'm not sure we can see the conclusion of that women's discus, but we've obviously focused a lot on it over the last hour or so. But Andressa de Moraes, throw of 58 meters 66, ended up being the best. Samantha Hall finishing in second, 58.43, was able to improve in round 5. And Super Insang improved as well to 58.33, just a little bit, to finish in third place. So no home athletes in terms of the top 3. The best of the Indian athletes here, Seema Kalaramna, who finished in 4th place. So where are we at with the shot put in terms of the opening attempts? It is this man, Chuck Anakwechi, who is leading the way in the opening stages. Just short of 20 meters.
We're now going to get to the introduction of the next of the events. It's all happening out here.
Yes, it's the men's 800 meters next. And in this, you might be familiar if you watch the World Athletics Continental Tour. You often see a couple of races where the best combined time is added together to find our winners. We have 2 races coming up for the men's 800 meters. Not necessarily seeded in terms of the stronger athletes in one and the other. As the hurdles getting packed away. We're just 4 or 5 minutes away from the start of the first of these men's 800 meters. So we'll check back in hopefully with the discus, the shot put in fact. It looks like we are ready to go. So anyway, Chuck Enakwechi leads the way in a shot put, 19 meters 96. Here we go then, the introductions for the men's 800 meters. There is Prakash Malukadade. He will be going from lane 3. Eridine Adal Merza from Iraq. We just saw that. Jean Bertrand Vayus from Mauritius. And, the BMC best there, just trained in the UK often. And Juan Mohammed Fazri of Malaysia. Lifetime best of 1:47.64. Som Bahadur Kumal, the Nepalese athletes that we have here. 150, he's looking to go below that in this race. And Kindi Lindup of Bhutan. Not much known about the man from Bhutan. And the fastest in this field is Mohammed Asad. He goes in the next race. And Brian Masai as well. We have a battle in that second race as we see Zane Weir of Italy. Looking like he's throwing around the 20-meter mark. Started with 19 meters 46. The European medalist. No doubt attracted out here as well to try and experience something a little bit new. You're seeing out there as well the towels being swept in that circle, trying to make it as dry as possible. So a reminder that these two 800-meter races are effectively one race, ran separately. So it'll be the best overall time, the best that will win this competition. And I just go through their warm-ups and we'll head back to the shot put for now.
That's the young Indian there, Samardeep Singh Gill, 18.72 at the very first attempt. He's quite capable of doing much more. 20.40 is his personal best, which is also the season's best. He comes from Bhopal in the state of Madhya Pradesh. Finalist at the Commonwealth and the World University Games. He is stepping into the shoes of Tejinder Pal Singh Toor. Just about a little over what he perhaps did, but no, that's a cross against his name. Should be disappointed. Very, very enthusiastic boy. Always likes to chat. He's a wonderful speaker, and he also translates all of that into action in the field.
It's always good to see the passion. Also converts to a decent attempt. There is Aidan Smith. Passion finishing fourth at the Commonwealth Games. Looking to go clear of 19 meters, 18.98. His best attempt so far. It's pretty much right on that line. It's a very similar throw actually from his first attempt for the South African. Leading away, Chuka Nakwachi. 19 meters, 96.
This surely is a very strong field.
19 meters and 4 centimeters then for Smith. It's a slight improvement just by 6 centimeters.
Sure, they're all looking at their personal best. This is personal best for 20.89. Shift to the next of them. Karanveer Singh from Punjab is the reigning national champion, the 2023 Asian Indoor silver medalist. 20.49 is personal best. Such a joy to watch the Southpaws as we now will get into action in the 800 meters.
They're underway for the first of the two 800-meter races. And a reminder that the best time from these two will be the overall winner. Set off pretty quickly. No real seedings. We've got the faster of the athletes in the second of the races. Apologies, we missed the start here, but a little bit of a gap emerging here between the front and the chasing pack. It's gone a little bit too early here. We're about to go through the first lap in just short of 54 seconds for Prakash Balagodade. And he'll be a very popular winner if he can hold on to this, but the pack are just starting to close in on him here. Godade stretching his legs and trying to keep what looks like about a 4 or 5 meter gap here between himself and the chasers. He went out extremely hard, and now the race really starts to go as they come round the bend for the final time. And just starting to close here on Prakashpada Godade. He can feel his rivals breathing down his neck. And just running wide there, it's a sensible choice from Godade with the threat coming on. But he's going to streak home for victory here. Start to finish, a win for Godade. Unofficial time, just outside 1:48. And we actually saw a bit of a redraw, didn't we, of these races. Prakashpada Godade was meant to go in the second of the two races. Instead had a pretty much free run of it here in the first race. Just trying to see here who's come home for second place. It's Nuruddin Adal Mirza, who's just getting second. And Godade will come over and speak to Shannon in a few moments, but that was actually a very confident win from one of the home athletes.
Trains at the Army Sports Institute, a sapper in the Indian Army. A very, very determined man. Here's the big man again, the second of the big men. But he's certainly a much bigger man, isn't he, Richard?
An imposing figure. He leads the way. He's actually about to go. It's Jinpal Singh Tour, 19 meters 58, his best so far. That looks like an improvement. Well, no, he's actually stepped outside the circle, it would seem. Red flag. Well, he's found the distance that time. Maybe just couldn't quite keep his balance. So it's a little bit tricky out there with the rain. It's pretty much the first I've seen of the rain, actually, since I got here. Been here for it's the fourth day here, actually. I think it's been raining overnight a little bit, but a little bit unfortunate for the conditions. But you have to challenge yourself in these. And Kalinga Stadiumr here, I think he's gone into it. He has, now this is the example of the conditions, and we've not been quite happy with it. He leads the way. He went into the circle. He's not happy with how much standing water there is in there. Tried to clear some of it away with the towel, but found that he wasn't willing to take the risk. He's hoping that maybe the rain stops coming. Some of the other athletes absorb those conditions. Instead, deliberate foul, doesn't need to go into the lead. So instead, it's William Dourado who comes into the circle. The Brazilian, former World Indoor finalist. And making nice of the conditions there, Dourado. That looks all right.
We are now heading to the next of the 800 meters. The first of them is Mogali Venkataraman of Andhra Pradesh. Molifi Moholomi of the Republic of South Africa, the reigning South African champion, 146.92. This is after the first of them which got through. Mohammad Afzal, and then of course down the order, Krishan Kumar of the Army. World Championship at Budapest, 145.88. He's going to be drawn in the outside there in the 800 meters, the silver at the Asian Championships in Bangkok in 2023. The second of them, as we still stay with the shot put for the moment.
Yes, this is Zane Weir in third place, 19 meters 80. His best from round two. He's seen Enekwechi basically avoid his third round, so Weir looking to go out in front. Dumping into the turf around about the 20-meter mark. Turf just coming up there as well. The throw from Dourado we saw just now measured at 19 meters 56. It wasn't an improvement for the Brazilian. And to go out in front, Zane Weir will be needing to improve on the 19 meters 96. He is the first to go over 20 meters at this meet. And the European medalist from Birmingham just last week is the new leader. So how can Simondeep Singh Gill respond? Another who competed at the Commonwealth Games in Glasgow. You can see there he's got a towel in front of the circle. He's perfectly entitled to make sure that he enters that way. So a wipe of the feet. A wipe of the towel inside the circle. And Gill sitting in sixth, 80 meters 72. He's a lot better than this. Dropping just short of the 20 meters, I think. But it looks like it might be a little bit closer to the 19-meter mark for Gil, which is at least he's heading in the right direction.
Quite capable of doing that. One thing is certain, Richard, that the laundry will have a lot of work with the towels coming in tomorrow morning for them. The towels.
Yes, yeah, yeah. Quite a laundry bill that's going to be racking up here, isn't there? We've got the one end on with the shot put. We've had the women's discus as well. So look at the leaderboard then for the first time today, and Zane Weir leading the way 20 meters and 12 centimeters, the only athlete over 20 meters so far. So Aidan Smith next into the ring. The second of these men's 800 meter races is about to get underway. How can Smith respond to Weir? Just that touching the tape there around the 19 meter mark once again. Sure it's going to be much of an improvement if there is one from Aidan Smith. He's keeping it pretty consistent. Kalinga Stadiumr is going to be next up. It is a slight improvement from Smith. Like I said, I feel like it was around the same mark. It's only 4 centimeters better off. Keeps him in 6th. No improvement for him. Kalinga Stadiumr, 18 meters 61 with his best attempt so far. He'll be next up in the circle. But we're just about to get underway then for the second of the 2 men's 800 meter races. And a reminder that the combined times will determine the winner. I don't feel like they're too ready to go yet though, do they? It's sitting on the blocks, getting ready to be reintroduced. About a minute away from the scheduled start. So we are running, that's to say, officials doing a terrific job so far in keeping things running like clockwork.
There was slated to be 7 of them in the original lineup, but I can see 1 and 2 vacant. Mogali Venkatraman of Andhra Pradesh was to run in lane number 2. We'll see lane number 3 is the boy from the Republic of South Africa, Molifi Molomi. He's a very focused person. 146.92 is the reigning South African champion. In 4 is the man who has been doing wonders. The man from the Indian Air Force. There he is to the left, Mohammad Afzal, a junior warrant officer, national record holder, 144.93. 5 and 6 are vacant again. That's Krishan there in the outside, a silver medalist at the Asian Championships in Bangkok. 145.88, a gold at the Federation Cup in Ranchi, as they all set now. They all make sure that this 800 meters, the timing would obviously want to get as better as earlier. The controlled positive split. The second lap is obviously going to be slightly slower than the first. They're setting out now at the back straight. Afzal will now come in there. There are only 4 of them. From the outside, it's Krishan Kumar of the Indian Army, 2023 Asian Championship silver medalist. He takes the early lead. Afzal just behind there, breaking for the inside after the 100 meters at the far side now. He is controlling the race from the front, for sure. Is Krishan. It won't be far away before Mohammad Afzal starts breaking in there. And Richard, when you got only 4 of them, the pressure starts mounting, isn't it?
Yeah, just wondering whether possibly Moglomi is just starting to bide his time. In fact, there goes the Kumar is gone after the first lap. He was looking good. And instead, we're just down to 3 in race B.
So, in fact, it was Bappi Hansta who was making from Odisha. In fact, the Odisha's supporters out here were all looking for him. Mohammad Afzal is now falling back. Krishan now takes the lead. Out there, he's got the South African Molifi Mohiri on his heels. Afzal seems to be not doing what he actually likes to do, sitting his shoulder, waiting perhaps for the final moment to come in there. It's all between the 2 of them. Afzal falling back now by quite a few meters. It seems to be that the South African, it is taking that lead. Krishan trying to catch up. Is he going to do that? So close, looks over his shoulder. But it is the South African, Richard.
Yeah, I just thought maybe he was biding his time there, Morifi Modlomi. the South African. It's a strange race, that one, because we were due to have 7 runners in that race. We actually saw a slight redraw as well for all those 2 races. We were due to see Brian Masai go in that, the Kenyan, but he didn't turn up either. So in the end, when we had the dropout of, it was Bapi Hansler, you said, wasn't it, that dropped out after 400 metres. It looked like he was going well, and I just wondered whether he was actually almost doing a bit of a pacing job there instead, because nothing visible, but also with big events coming up, you don't want to take any risks. If you feel a little bit of a twinge somewhere in your legs, you want to make sure that you look after yourself. But Malome always looked very comfortable in that first 400 metres, and Krishna Kumar was there to be shot at 1:47.45. We'll just double check on the results from the first one. 1:48.03 was the winning time from Prakash Balugadade. So it will be Malifi Motlomi who takes the overall win, and Krishnan Kumar will get second place.
I'm a bit surprised with Mohammad Afzal. Obviously, he has conserved his energy for the weeks to follow. And that's the happy team out here. Afzal on the far left, the national record holder. Malifi from South Africa, now with Shannon.
I have with me the winner of our men's 800, Molifi Mohami. Talk to us about that race. You were in the pack, you settled in, and then you made a hard push over the last 300 meters. Was that your strategy? How did you approach today?
Actually, for today, I just went. I wanted to see what will the body be able to give me. And yeah, I didn't actually think I was going to win this one.
He wanted to see what the body could give him, and it gave him a win at the World Athletics Continental Tour Silver Competition. Have you competed in India before?
No, this is actually my first time here in India, and it's a nice place, I must say. The people are nice as well, and it's just a nice environment to be around.
Awesome. Well, congratulations to our winner of this men's 800-meter competition. His first time in India, and he brings home a win. Congratulations.
Well, Shannon, I'm sure we'll have a lot of talking to do during the course of the evening out here. Richard continues to stay here. In the comm box, joining him is Rupinder Singh.
We may just be about to hear from our second place athlete. Shannon just trying to get the interviews there, doing a great job. Next up on the track will be the women's 1500 metres. Rupinder will take us through that in a moment. They'll be introduced to the crowd very shortly. The warm-up just underway as well for the women's javelin. That'll be one of the next field events to get started. We are deep into the men's shot put, which is still being led at the moment by the Italian Zane Weir. And I think Shannon is just about ready to speak here with Krishnan Kumar. Maybe not, just the poses with our mascot instead. And for those that don't know, can you explain the reason for why we have a turtle as our mascot, Rupinder?
Well, that's particularly the animal that is seen a lot in Odisha, which rains a lot. And I believe certain parts of Odisha are under the floods, and there are turtles all over the place there.
So the women's 1500 metres just about to be introduced to the crowd. Slight delay on that.
Thank you.
We've got a lot going on out there. Here's Krishnan.
Personal best, and my personal best 1:45.88. But again, Asian Games, personal best and gold medal.
Yeah. You heard it, people. Asian Games, personal best, gold medal. He said that out loud right here, and we're going to be cheering him on next month. But first, let's give him another round of applause. He was our second place finisher tonight. Excellent performance all around. Congratulations.
Shannon getting the post-race interviews for us. You see, there's the shots there of the women's javelin throwers just getting ready to get started their competition. That will get going in around 10 minutes' time, so just going through their warm-ups. This is how the card looks. Slightly confusing way it's been laid out there, but you can see that the person leading away is actually midway down that table. That's Zane Weir, the Italian, 20 metres and 12 centimetres. Chuck Anokwechi sits in second place, the Commonwealth champion, 19 metres 96. We saw him deliberately foul in round 3 just because of the conditions. There we go. A lot more clearer for you now. And William Dourado, the Brazilian, who's got plenty of international experience, seen him at major championships before, 19 metres 86. The best of the home athletes at the moment, Tajendra Pal Singh Tour, 19 metres 58. We know Rupinder is is capable of a lot more than that, and he'll be wanting to go over 20 metres. And so far, we haven't actually seen a lot of the athletes get to their best yet. We've only seen one throw over 20.
Yes, definitely. And Tajendra Pal Tour, with a best of 21.77, has been underperforming this year. Got a best of 20.58, reached the finals at the Commonwealth Games, but hasn't really been at the peak of his form. Samardeep Singhal and Karandeep are also two who are pushing him. In fact, at the national championships here, Karandeep was first and Tour finished way down.
Well, here is Samardeep Singh Gill. 19 metres 33 is best so far. That leaves him in 6th place. He has been in the form of his life this season, 20 metres 40. And if he can replicate that again here, then he'll move into the lead. Positive self-talk from Gill as we move into the second half of this competition. It's going to drop short of 19 metres, so not the improvement that he wanted. Maybe not quite getting the footwork. Doesn't want that recorded either, so steps outside the circle. Wanting to ignore that one. Now, we have lost, of course, 3 athletes. It's Alma Hadawi, who's gone. Also, the 2 Nepalese athletes, Tilak Bahadur and Rai Bahadur Shahi. They have both exited the competition. There's Karanveer Singh.
Karanveer Singh actually upset both Tour and Samardeep in the interstate national championships held here end of June. Did not get the nod for the Commonwealth Games.
You can see him there, Rupinder. He's applying plenty of the chalk to his hands, the slippier conditions.
Absolutely. Very tough for these field eventers when it rains. As you were describing earlier, the World Championships ended with that fabulous Daniel Stahl throwing over 70 meters in those conditions where people were slipping all over the place.
Yeah, I was there for that, Rupinder, and it was just the most extraordinary night. We didn't even know if we were going to be able to have the competition at one point. It was touch and go. The unprecedented situation where it was right at the end of the schedule as well. Here is Tour. Trying to move into the top 3. He's got a best so far of 19 metres 58. That's going to drop a little bit short of 20 metres. I wonder as well there whether that's actually going to be quite similar actually to that first round throw. But at least after the 2 fouls, moving back towards the right direction.
Absolutely. And his body language seems to be saying, take it easy, I'll be there. And now the 1500 meters for women, in which the 2 favourites are the young girl running in front, Lily Das, the diminutive, versatile runner. She runs from 1500 up to the 25 kilometers. She's been an Asian junior champion. She was 4th at the 2025 Asian Championships. Of course, the more favorite girl today, behind her, Pooja, who's a best of 4:09, who was the Asian Championship silver medalist. And then we've got the Mauritius girl, Sonia Sunoon, 2 Nepalese, 1 Sri Lankan. Lily in the lead. Gone through in 68 seconds for the first lap, 3 3/4 laps. It was changed at the Commonwealth Games to the more famous mile. And now we are back here on familiar territory. 1500 meters is what these girls will be aiming for at the Asian Games. Lily Das followed by Pooja. The 2 favourites in this event. India's top star Ankita Dhyani is training in the US with Scott Simmons.
I think Pooja is just playing a very sensible race here, Rupinder, just sitting on the shoulders, waiting and letting Lily Dust do all the work. She's the class athlete in this field, Pooja, the only athlete that's under 4 minutes and 10 seconds. And I think it's just about holding her nerve, waiting for the kick. At the moment, everything's very, very comfortable for her. They're strung out, but any one of these four are in contention.
In contrast, Lily realizes her only chance of winning is in the earlier laps, and she's making an effort, a brave effort. It's always very difficult to start in the lead and finish in the lead, something which we saw phenomenally done by Daniel Rudisha at the 2012 Olympics and still holding the record.
Yeah.
But Pooja doing the sensible thing. She knows she's the favorite. She's got a better kick than Lily, so she doesn't need to worry now.
Looking very comfortable here. Pooja behind Lily Dust, but don't count out. Dust, lifetime best of 4:10 herself, of course, not been in that shape this season. 10 seconds or so the difference between these two this season, but now it's just down to 3. So Lily Dust still leading the way. Pooja still very happy just to sit on the shoulder here, and those long legs, the long strides will really come to the fore now as we approach the final lap.
Absolutely. And now the moot point is, when does Pooja go? Does she want a good timing, or is she happy with being the gold medal winner tonight? The time is 3:29 as they cross 1200. So she's not capable of doing a 40 seconds in the last.
It's not going to be
not
going to be a quick time, is it? But this is when Pooja can really start to take control. And has Lily Dust got anything left as they approach the final 200 meters?
Absolutely. It's almost a David and Goliath affair, with Lily inches shorter than Pooja. Not having the speed, having shifted a lot to half marathons and 25 kilometers, which are more paying events in India currently.
Well, it's a very comfortable victory, isn't it, for Pooja? Lets everyone else do the work and bring it home for not a quick time, the unofficial time just outside 4 minutes and 17 seconds. So, I mean, well within her capability. She made it look easy as well. It's not about running a quick time today. It's all about the bigger goals you've got coming up, the Asian Games. You've got other big events too. And Pooja with a busy schedule to come out. Just a really good hit out in front of a home crowd here.
But Lily Dust, brave race by her, and looks like she's just gone below her season's best. 4:17.18 first. We'll await the timing. 4:19 was her best before today.
I think you can look at that as a really honest race from Lily Dust. I mean, she was absolutely gunning for that quick time, wasn't she? For Pooja, it was all about the win. Those are two very different mindsets you've got from two athletes there. Pooja just wanted to come here, get the W, whereas for Lily Dust, it's all about trying to use the strength of the opponents you've got with you to try and drag you through. And you can see some of the athletes absolutely spent, still lying on the track, looking to try and get over a big physical exertion from them. But it just shows, I think, that the excitement you've got around Pooja. I mean, she'd love to edge closer to the 4 minutes. That's when you get to the world-class level, where you can sort of talk about yourself being a contender to get in some of those gold meetings, maybe beyond the sort of periphery of the Diamond Leagues. And, you know, to the age of just 24, I think Pooja, she's got plenty of time to dip below those 4 minutes. I mean, look at Georgia Hunter-Bell, for example. She's in her 30s, only just gone full-time, and she's now dominating the 1,500 meters at the moment, with Faith Kipyegon out injured. Back to the shot put then, and this is into round 5. Samardeep Singh Gill with his 5th attempt. Just about touching the tape with 19 meters 33, his best so far. That's put him in 6th place. I can tell you in 8th place is Sanyam Sanjay at the moment. Aidan Smith is in 7th. He's got 2 fouls of his last 2 rounds. Leading the way still is Zane Weir ahead of Anekwache and Dorada. So no mark in the end for Gill.
I feel good and good.
feels good. She's ready, guys. Next month, Asian Games in Japan. Let's give a round of applause for Pooja, your winner of the women's 1,500 meters.
I love that from Shannon Robery there. 1,500 meters, Olympic medalist herself.
Let's hear from you about this race and what your goal was coming in.
I try my personal best, but weather is very humid. But I will try my best.
And that's all you can hope for, right? You try your best, you put yourself in it, you led most of that race. What's up next for you?
Next Asian Games.
Guys, this is such an exciting moment. We're seeing so much of the talent that we'll be watching at the Asian Championships next month. Let's give another round of applause for our women in this 1,500 meter race. Congratulations.
No one understands the pain more of a 1,500 meters than Shannon Robery, and not often you see the interviewer crouch down to the level of the athletes who are still trying to get their breath back, but Shannon knows exactly how they feel, and it's not making them get up anytime soon. So great work. Good to hear from both Pooja and Lidas.
Absolutely. Wonderful race. It was. Lily brave, taking the lead, making her effort. Pooja honest enough, waiting for the last lap to impose herself and win the gold medal.
So back to the shot put. We're in round 5. This is William Dorado, who's now dropped out of the top 3, down to 5th place, 19 meters 86. So we've actually just missed Tandapal Singh Tour go over 20 meters. And Dorado trying to join them. And that's not going to be far off 20 meters. So Zane Weir, whilst we've been away, has improved to 20 meters and 47 centimeters. Sitting in second place is Karanveer Singh, up to 20 meters and 6 centimeters in 5th place. And Tour in third place with 20 meters and 3 centimeters. So Anakwechi, the Commonwealth champion, here he is. Remember, he deliberately skipped round 3 because of the conditions, then came back for 19 meters 82, looking to improve here. And it might just be around the 20 meter mark, but touch and go. I'm not sure it's going to be enough to overtake Zane Weir, who will be next up in the circle, the European silver medalist.
Interesting point you made, Rich. Even in shot put, you make tactical decisions. I thought it was all about 1,500, 5,800. But yes, you do that even in the field events, high jumps, long jumps. And here today, we've seen a master class from the Nigerian, hopefully getting into the medals.
Look at
yes,
that.
he's got 20.00.
Not quite good enough yet, though, to move into the top 3. So the quality of this competition is really starting to ramp up, which is great to see. You often see this in the throws, don't you? Where it just they're going through the gears, it's ramping up. But here is the leader, Zane Weir. He's in good form. Only last week in Birmingham, he was stepping up onto the podium at the European Championships. He's made the long trip here. The South African-born Italian had to settle for second behind his Italian teammate, Leonardo Fabri, the world leader. Going well here and looking to improve on 20 meters 47. It's a decent lead he's got so far. And that's not going to be an improvement from the Italian. So 20:47 will continue to be the mark that leads the way as we head into the closing stages, as we head into the final round.
This is exactly, Rich, what the Indians benefit from on a Silver Continental Tour. They've got Enekreich experience to learn from. They've got the Italian leading them, and they're pushing all the way through. Karandeep Tour making the best of it, going above 20, and now looking to narrow the gap.
Before we head into the final round, just to let you know about the results of the high jump. It was won by Supriya, 1 meter 75 ahead of Manshi and Reed Rator. So I think the conditions playing a little bit of havoc with that one. As we head to the women's long jump, which is just getting started here.
And this is the darling of the crowd. In June, she broke a 22-year-old record. Ansi Sojan beating the legendary Anju Bobby George, jumping 688. Now looking well set to try and up her silver medal at the Asian Games in September. She gets a white flag. Ansi Sojan has been at the silver medal level at the Asian Championships last year, at the last Asian Games, and she's looking to up herself. It was unfortunate that her jump came a little bit too late to get a selection, otherwise she would have been a medalist at the Commonwealth Games in Glasgow.
So this is the start of the women's javelin, so the long jump is underway. Ansi Sojan with 6 meters 51 to get started. And here is the lineup then for the women's javelin. The men's event to come near the back end of the program. That's Jana Chowdhury, 7th of the national championships. Rashmi, who's thrown a lifetime best of 56 meters 15 this season. And into the international athletes, Zushalini de Lima, the Brazilian, 62 meters 89 at best, 61.47 this season. World Championship finalist, an 8-time national champion. Deepika, the junior record holder for India. Uma Chowdhury is due to go at 8, just coming away from the lineup here. Hopefully we can bring you back to them. Just want to double check that we're not announcing people who are not here. Madhawanti of Sri Lanka. One of the late entries here is Chajakala Magade of Nepal. And Dilhani Makamge of Sri Lanka. The Asian Games silver medalist behind Anurani, who I think we just missed, or maybe just got caught at the start of as we were coming to those introductions. But very sure we saw her there. Anurani is here. You caught a glimpse of her, didn't you? We got to the instructions a little bit late, didn't we?
Yeah.
So Anurani, of course, the Asian Games champion, and it was Makamge finished just behind her. So all set for a thrilling competition in the javelin, which is just about to get going. They've been out there warming up now for the last 20 minutes or so. Next up on the track will be the women's 100 meters. Once again, we'll have an A and a B final. It doesn't mean better or worse, by the way, just that's how they've been seeded. Cheers you can hear in the background for the start of the javelin. And this is Shadi Singh. Cheers, Rimpi Buragahain, sorry, apologies, I'll let you take this through this, Rupinder.
Yes, Rimpi Buragahain, one of the up-and-coming youngsters. Long jump in the woman is really catching up in India, and we've got at least 8 people above 6 meters. 6:42 is the best of Buragahain. And this is a track where the long jumpers, both in the men and the women, have done magnificently. When they left for the Commonwealth Games, Murli Shankar jumped 8.38 here.
Just to bring you up to date with what's going on so far, though, in this competition. Leading the way is Ansi Sojan, 6 meters 51, ahead of Sina Mohammed, 6:24 for her. It's only 1 centimeter ahead of Kusama Rabada. We're into round 2. red flag. You hear the crowd in the background. That's because Anu Rani has just taken her first attempt, 55 meters and 39. The Indian crowd so well educated in javelin. You know, the prestige Indian javelin throwing has leading the world scene. Here's Sanjana Chowdhury with her first attempts.
She's an up-and-coming youngster, and she's been prominent in the national circuit, getting the better of Anu Rani on many an occasion. Anu will be looking for a revenge today.
Interesting last year at the Chopra Classic, Rupinder, about the conversation was about trying to take athletics beyond javelin. But you can hear that the crowds are most excited about seeing it. It's a spectacular sight, isn't it, watching the javelin fly through the air inside a stadium.
Absolutely. And what a competition it was. And it started off the career of Pathirage, who came third there and now is the dominant force.
The 100-meter runners are just starting to get their preparations going. 2 women's races to come. Just doing through their warm-up now. We'll bring you the lineups for those shortly. As we see De Lima, the Brazilian, with her first attempts. And sails just short of the 60-meter mark. Around about 56, 57 centimeters for De Lima.
60 meters proving to be elusive for the woman today in the discus. 2 of them were clearly above in their previous best, but today 58.3 was enough for her to win. Deepika, the youngster from Haryana. Just short of 50 meters. India's javelin factory is really on work. We've got 2 youngsters here today, Deepika and Sanjana Chowdhury, to add to Anu Rani and continue the tradition that has been set by Neeraj Chopra. We had an under-23 gold medalist at the Asian Championships. We had an under-20 world champion silver medal. So it's all through that we are getting good results. And of course, we had the bronze medalist behind Neeraj, who will be in action later tonight.
Yeah, stellar lineup in the men's javelin coming, and even more impressive with the fact there was a Diamond League javelin last night, that we have such a strong lineup here in Bhubaneswar. This is Dhanasi Ake of Sri Lanka with her first attempt, short of 50 meters.
Last night, for all the Indian fans, a thriller. Neeraj coming back, improving a huge season's best, and just losing out by 9 centimeters to the world lead this year, but garnering enough points and looking to that ultimate championships where the World Athletics President wants to present something ultimate for the athletes. And guess what? Who will be opening the anthem? It's a song from Mondo Duplantis.
It's up to you
the
whether
man
you think...
who's broken world record 15 times and won in Lausanne with 6:21.
Yeah, he's making it look easy all the time, isn't he? Up to you whether you think that song is any good or not. But he's done it anyway. He's actually got a really snappy, quite catchy number that he released a few months ago. To continue with this javelin competition, we can bring you up to date with the men's shot put in just a moment. It's all over there. And I can tell you there's been some drama. Fortunately, we've not been able to catch it. Apologies for that. But it's Chuck Enikwechi in the end who won the men's shot put. a clutch throw of 20 meters 78 in round 6 to beat Zane Weir, who couldn't respond. 20 meters 47 was his best. 20:31 is all he managed in the second attempt. As we watch Dahani Lakamgi, one of the favourites for the win here today, and throws well just short of 60 meters. That will be brought back slightly. Just about to get underway with the first of the women's 100-meter throws. Well, we are rattling through this first round of the javelin. A reminder that at the halfway mark, we will lose some athletes. We'll go down to 8 for the final 3 rounds.
So another thriller from the shot put, with a last effort by the Commonwealth Games champion, helping him clinch the gold, and the Indians benefiting from the exposure both to the Nigerian and the Italian, who were ahead of them.
So Daniela Nishimura into round 2 was able to clear 50 meters in the first round. Not done it that time. 3rd place at the South American Championships last year. We'll be heading very shortly to the first of these women's 100-meter races.
Karishma Sanil with a no mark in a first throw will be looking to get one on the board. And she comes close to 50 meters, which should ensure that she gets into the top 8 for the final 3 throws. And here is the darling of the crowd. Anu Rani. Asian Games gold, a bronze at the Commonwealth Games in 2022. Looking to cross that 60-meter mark. No, well shot. Looks slightly less than the first one.
So here we go. Here is the first of the 2 100-meter races. There is Amasha De Silva of Sri Lanka in lane 5. Fatima Shafia Yamik and in lane 6. We are just going back through here. So Shradani Nanda, a 35-year-old from Odisha. And in lane 2 is Jayarani Taru. So we've got an empty lane here in lane 3, it would seem. Liana Pama from the Philippines is not there. So she is not shown. Let's have a look at lane 6 as well. I think maybe lane 7. Lane 7 appears to be empty. That's Dana Hussain, who's not here. And lane 8, Natya Gandhi is there. So we have, my count, 5 athletes in this race. So in lane 2 is Taru. 2 races, best time wins out of the 2. And they get away first time. It's a fairly even start. Look at Nanda streaking away, but they're coming back strongly and coming through into lane 6. It's Fatima Shafia Yannick, the Sri Lankan, who comes through in 11:70 unofficial time. We'll get that rounded up for an official time for you, and that will be the mark to beat. So our apologies, we weren't able to run through the full lineup for you and just get a real gauge as to who was there and who wasn't. But it's victory in the end for Yamik. 11:71 the official time in the end. Nanda, who made that great start, she flew out the blocks. But it was Yamik who came back strong. And Amasha De Silva completing the top 3, 11:92 finish time. But a really impressive start from Nanda. But wasn't able to maintain that in that final 50.
Well, she's the home favourite here. Born and brought up in Odisha at the stadium, training at the High Performance Centre, has been running for long. And she just loves her running, came out flying and really raised the hopes of the hometown, but pipped at the end.
Back over to the long jump. And a foul there for Shadi Singh. No mark in round one either. So she's under a bit of pressure here. Is Singh. The second of the two 100-meter races will get started in just over 10 minutes' time. Hoping for a strong lineup there. Going, or due to go, we would hope, is Crystal Amua, who is the favourite for the overall win in the women's 100 metres. The British athlete, who's recently been part of the European gold medal winning 4x100 metre relay team at the European Championships. She ran in round one. Wasn't able to keep her place in the final. It's a stacked lineup. Great Britain had a wealth of options that comes here with a gold, having played her part in round one. So we're just about ready to continue on with this long jump competition.
Burgoyne with a good first jump of 5.86, looking to improve on that one. Lacks in inches, but stoutly built girl. Has the power, needs a little bit of more speed in her approach run. Has a best of 6.42. Pretty consistent jumping, 5.86 and 5.79 for her first two attempts.
This is Ranatkala of Sri Lanka. As we switch back to the javelin. I believe that was that Uma Chowdhury, who we just saw with her second attempt. So we'll do our best to try and keep you across exactly what's happening in terms of the overall standings. I can tell you that in the javelin, leading the way at the moment is Dotolini Salyaj Jalima, 56 meters 68, but only leading by 6 centimeters or so, ahead of Delhani Lakamgi, and Anurani sits in third place. Open up with a 55.39. Santi Sandayake, just short of 50 meters. Very similar to her first effort, it would seem, 47.73 to start with. That's not going to be a million miles away from that first attempt.
Harshani Madhuvant of Sri Lanka. First attempt a poor 44.05. Looking to improve. Getting closer. Looks like 46 plus this time. Women's javelin throw being led by Jusceil Sales de Lima from Brazil. Chandrakala of Nepal. Gets on the board after a foul throw.
Just watching the men's shot putters are making their way off of the infield. The men's high jumpers just going through their warm-ups. The women's long jump well underway. It's javelin into round two. Dohani Lakamge. Again, looks fairly similar to her first attempt. 56 meters 62 to start with. They really are flying through this competition in the women's javelin. No hanging about. As the women's 100-meter runners just being introduced to the crowd.
Current leader in the javelin from Brazil. Indians only know that Brazil play football, but we have a wonderful set of athletes here at the Silver Continental meet to set that right. That's a poor throw, just below 50.
Karishma looking to break 50 meters, just falling short. Again, here's a theme we're seeing today. Not much of an improvement from these athletes, but if you're winning awards for consistency, then a lot of them will be in a very hotly contested competition today. Again, it's a shame we saw in the men's shot put. You can see right at the end, unfortunately we missed that final round from Chukak and Enekwechi, but you can just turn it all around right at the end. Just pull something out of the bag when you need it. Those clutch throws. That's why some of the really experienced athletes, and here is one of them, can put it out of the bag just when they need to. Anu Rani sits in third. Just died, that one. It flew up into the sky. There is a slight following wind. Just looking at that windsock, you can see just a little glimpse of it there. Not much of a breeze out there, but they do have favourable conditions, I would say. It's not going to absolutely fly. The rain has stopped.
Sanjana just behind Anu, 4th place. She's the youngster looking to take over from Anu Rani. This one just above 50 meters, so no improvement for her too. Conditions made it difficult in the discus throw. Javelin should be slightly better. Rashmi getting another throw just above 50. Again, more or less consistent.
There is Juscelino de Lima, the Brazilian, the leader. Well, that flew, and that looks better from de Lima. Closer to around the 58-meter mark, you would think, 56.68 to start with.
Finally, the throwers getting into their own.
Yeah.
That looks like the best throw of the evening. And it is 57.46. The youngster Deepika from Haryana, from the Javelin Academy based there, which produces most of the throwers, struggling today.
So it's de Lima improving on her lead. She's now out in front by almost an entire meter. Umar Chowdhury, 5th place. Very consistent with her first 2 throws. And she's going to drop a little bit short of those 2 opening attempts.
So it keeps Anu Rani 3rd, Sanjana Chowdhury 4th, and Uma Chowdhury 5th, currently behind the Brazilian who leads.
Asante Disanoyake looking to break 50 meters, not going to do it again. So 47 high, 48 mids for the second attempt, and I wonder whether we might fall somewhere between the 2 in that 3rd attempt.
Consistency at its best, 47.73, 48.58, and 48.11. Currently lying 9th in this competition, needs to improve a little bit to qualify.
So that's another one tick. Again, way short of 50 metres, not going to be an improvement for her. And she will not be progressing through this competition. They're starting to become a lot more obvious now, the athletes that are dropping out. Right, so we're going to go to the next 100-metre race. There is Prameya Digital. Lifetime best of 11:54, very close to that. Now on the outside of her will be Tamana. Looks like the Brit Crystal Awua is not there. So the Yurachi is. There is Harita Badra.
She's been the dominant Indian sprinter this year, winning the Indo 60, then repeating that in the 100 meters. She trained at Loughborough, Rich, and looking in impressive form. And Jyoti will be looking to take some of the revenge that she lost out in the hurdles. Jyoti has been impressive, versatile, doing the 100s, 200s, in addition to the 100 hurdles, which is something I appreciate in Indian athletics. They must develop into more versatile athletes, like Femke Ball,
yes,
or Sydney McLaughlin, challenging themselves always under new conditions.
So in lane 1, we'll have Tamana, and then Prameya Digital in lane 2. Lane 3 is going to be empty. Jyoti, as you said, finished third in the 100-metre hurdles a little bit later on. Lanes 5 and 6 also appear to be empty. So no Ambisha of South Africa. No Giridharani as well in lane 6. So in lane 7, Harita Badra, 11:55, her lifetime best set in May. And Sneha Shanavali in lane 8. So slightly depleted lineup. Very much about the home athletes here. The teenager Rajarajan in lane 2, 19 years old. Tamana on the outside of her. Pressure a little bit here on Jyoti Yurachi, despite the fact she's already run once today. Comes into this arguably as the favourite, and she's got no one either side of her, so it's quite hard to judge with her peripheral vision just where she is in this race. She's got to run her own race. So they settle down. Well, their very first time, and Yurachi left in her blocks a little bit there. Tamana started out well, and Yurachi's actually pulled up there, and Rajarajan looks like she's going to come through for the win in lane 2. She does. 11:32 the winning time, and that's a real shame for Jyoti Yurachi. Took the risk with the 2 races today, but it all belongs to Prameya Rajarajan, who celebrates with the Sue impression from Cristiano Ronaldo. We've seen it for a couple of decades now, and Rajarajan enjoying herself in front of this crowd. 11:34, the official winning time. It was Badra who got second place, 11:46, and Shanavali in third, 11:56. But no shows from Crystal Awua, Jobiale Ambisha, and Gitarani. But that's a real concern, isn't it, in terms of Yurachi? You need to see that replay again, exactly what happened, but it looked like that classic hamstring.
But great story for Rangaraja. She's been out the whole season due to injury, just recently come back into running, and today she produced the ultimate. And there you go with the Ronaldo celebration.
Done it again.
This girl, Rich, I've been telling her since last year, where she won again in the bronze meet, that she can easily beat Jyoti Yurachi if she takes up to the 100 hurdles. And of course, ultimately aim to erase P.T. Usha's 400-meter hurdles record. Look at her physique, look at her talent.
Where we have
Let's hear from her.
Winner and new stadium record holder from tonight's 100-meter race, Rajarajan. Talk to me about that hard charge at the end. You were so fast I could barely see you. How do you feel out there?
Actually, I'm coming back from my injury after 6 months. I'm coming back and running in our country, and also it's under 20 national record. Now I'm also under 20 national record holder, and I'm so happy. Thank you my physio Priyam sir, and my coach, most of all my dad. He's my biggest supporter. Thank you, guys.
The future of our sport in India, the U20 record, the stadium record. Let's give another round of applause for Raja Rajan.
Yes, congratulations to Prameya Rajan.
Hello,
And, we're
congratulations.
going to hear now from
We have
Harita
our
Badra.
second place finisher, Harita Badra. That was a quick finish, lots of changes of lead. How did it feel going into this race, and what are you looking forward to next?
I was just really open-minded going into this race because it's like a preparation for my Asian Games. So I wasn't really thinking so much. I was just considering as a preparation because I still have 1 more month of training to peak. But I'm really happy still I could get away with a PB, so I'm happy with that.
Coming away with a PB, coming in thinking it's just part of preparation, already personal best, big things to come in the Asian Games. Congratulations tonight.
Very exciting with the stadium record. It's Omar Chowdhury. And look at that, the javelin absolutely dying there, just dropping over the 50-meter mark. But Chowdhury, who sits in 6th place. This is into round 4, by the way. It's De Lima who's still leading the way, 57.46. Lakamge in 2nd place, 57.27, and Anurani with that first attempt of 55.39 sits in 3rd. Sanjaya Chowdhury throwing 55.22 this season. 53.89 her best so far. That's pretty much touched the tape on the 50-meter line. It won't be an improvement for Chowdhury, who has managed 3 legal throws already today. Just needs to find that extra bit of distance. Here's the athlete that so many have come to see today. Anurani sits in 3rd place. That's not where she wants to be. 55.39, her best attempt so far, needs to be 57.46. And she just ducks out of that right at the last minute. And she stepped over a line as well, so it is a red flag. Doesn't have any time left. Completely fooled the camera. So just watching down on the... I also often quite likes just to watch down on the infield, then switch back to the screen. The camera was fooled, but she just stopped dead. And just something wasn't quite right with the run up there for Rani. So no mark in round 4.
We're now shifting to, well, that's not Jyoti Anurani. We're now back to the Sri Lankan. 57.27. She's improved with every outing. Sri Lankans obviously, yes, 56.2. She's in 2nd place now. I did mention to Richard earlier on if the performance of Ramesh Patirage over the last few. He was here at Ranchi last year in the Federation Cup, in the South Asian Athletic Meet, where he won the gold. But surely the Sri Lankans, 56.62, down a wee bit, and once again to 56.77. But that 57.27 keeps her in position number 2 out here.
So back to Jusceline De Lima, the Brazilian, who leads the way still. She's really getting into her stride. That looked like it could have gone big, but it just hung up in the air. Drops out to the night sky. It will be around a similar kind of distance that we've seen so far from De Lima, those 56, 57s. Yet to see anyone really threaten the 60s. Still plenty of time in this penultimate round. So we go back round again.
Karishma Sanil, the two X's against her name. She's got 49.87. Back to the Brazilian now. We've got two of them out here. Daniela Nishimura and the second of them from Brazil, Lima. A silver medalist at the 2026 Ibero-American Championship. 60.27 in 2025. She's looking to that figure right now. Into the skies. Taking the pace off. For a moment I thought it was going to be a monster of a throw. The way she got her shoulder there. The intensity, the visual and the explosion came about from her. That's Rashmi coming up now. Andhra Pradesh 2026 Fed Cup bronze medalist. 56.15 is her best. She's never close to that figure here. 50.95 at the fourth. Building up that steam down the runway there, flat. Obviously that's not going to get her the momentum at all. She did try to focus on the acceleration phase. So she stays at 50.95.
So Uma Chowdhury in the last round. Very consistent card in the fifth round, excuse me. And short of 50 meters again. Look at that, 52, 52, 50, 50. She's going backwards and she's now dipped below the 50 meters. Not the direction she wants to be traveling in. It's penultimate round of the competition.
Richard, once again an event at the world level where the record has not been broken for 20 years. Obviously records are meant to be broken, as Anju Bobby George mentioned in that chat with us in the afternoon.
I'll tell you what though, I think it's going to go soon. Sanjaya Chowdhury, come back to that in a minute. And best of 53 high. That's not going to be an improvement on that from Chowdhury in this penultimate round. Yes, I don't know how much you've seen of Yan Zhiyi, the teenage Chinese athlete. She is a remarkable talent. In fact, she was throwing some of the best throws in the world last year, but wasn't actually old enough to compete in the World Championships, which is just crazy, really. She's throwing 71 meters 74 this season. It's only around 50 centimeters from that world record, which was set by Barbora Spotokova in 2008. And I just don't think it's going to last much longer the way she is going.
Down the runway, gets the momentum, gets the elevation out there, but not good enough to get anywhere close to that 63.82. Comes from a village in Haryana, came up the hard way like a lot of these athletes, the women athletes in particular. Her best has been 57.27. I'm surely she's going to be disappointed, lying in position number 4. That's the girl now. Will she break the shackles to get to number 1? Will she get the better of 57.27? That's the big question. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Is that good enough? Yes, the crowd goes up there in unison. That's a big one, Richard.
I think that might just about be good enough to overtake this woman here. Joshelene de Lima of Brazil, 57 meters 46. Is it going to be better? It is. Just short of 59 meters for Lakamge, and she goes into the lead now, puts the pressure all on de Lima, who has 2 attempts left.
Relaxed posture, she goes into that, smooth. Once again, well, they're all getting close to that mark out there. Clearly a very tension-free approach coming from her. And then the hit that we just saw there at the release. That transfer came about in good time from the power of the body to the spear at the last moment. 57.79 pushes her to number 2.
We've got the men's 100 metres coming up shortly. We saw a stadium record in the women's race in that second of the 2 races. And a similar format here to men's 100 metres. And the best overall time will be crowned the winner. We'll bring you that in a few moments' time. Here is how things are looking with 1 round left to go then. And at the top of the leaderboard, Dilhani Lakamge, the Sri Lankan, just ahead of Jasolini Dilima. Anurani has some work to do, 3 rounds with no mark. But can she pull something out of the bag right at the last moment to try and take top spot? So we're heading to the first of the 2 men's 100 metres. And there is Josiah John, the Australian. He'll go from lane 2. A couple of absences. So we'll bring you up to date with those in a few moments as we go through this lineup. Josiah John, the Aussie, is a late entry here. Dinesh Vivaratna of Sri Lanka. 10.33 his best set this season. Lane 4 is empty. Tarasu Santal Kumar is in lane 5. There is Malham Al-Bulushi from Oman. Pranav Guav will go in lane 7. Lane 8 is empty. So no Daniel Ofaya, who was meant to be there. And in lane 9, Pravin Rana. There he is. Rana, he's running at 10.82. Watch out for those middle lanes though. So Mohim Al-Balushi, 10.22. His lifetime best, 10.28 this season. We'll have to have another Al-Balushi go in the next race. 5. Santal Kumar, 10.22. Lifetime best, he's just outside of that this season. So a reminder, the best time from these 2 races will be crowned the winner. Lane 1 is empty. Lane 2 will be John of Australia. Vivaratna of Sri Lanka goes in 3. Lane 4 is empty. Santal Kumar in 5. Al-Balushi in 6. Gurav in 7. Lane 8 is empty. And it's Rana in lane 9. That is, well, obvious false start from Gaurav. If the gun went off, just struggling to hear the sound inside the crowd. I think they might have been told to stand up, actually. So much noise going on because of the long jump right in front of all the mainly school children out on the far side, and just getting a little bit overexcited. So these are one of those things, aren't they? This is a new high-level athletics event here. It's also about learning the etiquette, and that's fine. It's just something you have to get used to, but to quieten down just when you need to get these sprints underway. Seen a green card given to all of the athletes. Told to stand up, I think. It's very loud in here. Couldn't quite hear that, but it looked like an obvious go. So we're going to go again. So I'll remind you of the lanes once again. John goes in 2, Vivaratna in 3, Santal Kumar in 5, Al-Balushi in 6, Gurav in 7, and Rana in 9. So conscious of that, so we'll call it faulty start or delayed start. Try and hold the competition, I'm sure, for the long jump and the javelin just for a few seconds. First of the 2 men's 100-metre races. This time they don't get away cleanly here. Who was you see? Do you see? Is it again? Gulav? Very nervy. It's a big occasion, this. What were you seeing?
Well, I know he's got loads of experience. He's going to be booking his ticket to Japan for the Asian Games, but it happens to the best of them, doesn't it? I remember Tim Montgomery having that. The great Usain Bolt has had that once. But yes, twice out here. Once, of course, was a bit of a technical issue. But this boy, is he the guy in trouble? Richard, can you imagine you practice for weeks together, months together, comes for a big occasion, and then, pack your bag.
Well, as you say, it is a big occasion because we haven't seen a World Athletics Continental Tour silver in India before. But I guess as well, if you look at it in the positive side, and if he doesn't get away with this, we'll see in just a few moments' time. Let's have a look once again, just to get confirmation on where the twitch was. I'm not going to see it. Instead, we'll get a suspense of the officials coming over. You'd rather do it now than at the Asian Games, if you had to choose. Not ideal, but you'd rather get it out of the way now. Just about to see the officials come over. And what card would it be? The writing's on the wall for Pranav Gurav. And we already have too many empty lanes that we would have hoped for here. And Gurav, as this is right, will head over to this screen and take a look at this false start. And the others know that they are going to be delayed for a little bit longer here. So they're just coming along and getting a bit of water as well. But obviously you can run under protest if you like. It means that if you win the race and the officials still found that you were guilty of that false start, then the result won't stand. But I mean, the statistics tell you, we see the reaction times. It's quite hard to argue your case sometimes, but because of this rule that is now in place, you see it 9 times out of 10, most athletes, unless it's super, super obvious, will chance their luck.
2.5 hours, and then you have the first man in trouble out there.
So I think Gaurav thinks he's won his case to continue to have to run under protest, but there's a little bit of a misunderstanding here between Gaurav and the officials who would rather he gets off the track. I can understand the emotions here for Pranav Gaurav. As you say, he's so experienced and one of the fastest in this field, or the fastest in this field. Big favourite. There is his argument, and listen back to what's going on in the stadium, is that there's almost a little bit too much going on. He found it a little bit too distracting. But on that occasion, you can argue it for the first one, but the second one, the officials were very careful about making sure that the field events were held. There was no long jump going on at that time. The javelin was held. So the case to be made is quite tricky. Here we go. Here we go again. It's tight, but we know what the reaction time, legal times are. And the data will show how it was Gurav. But he looks like he's going to run under protest here. We see a massive throw in the women's javelin. And it's from De Lima in the final round, and that might be enough. It might just be enough to take the win. Unfortunately, the delays that we've seen. And I'm not sure we're going to go back to it. So I can tell you, De Lima has won the competition. Well, actually, only one can deny her. Lakamge is still to go. I thought that was the last one to go, but it's not. De Lima has gone out to 59 meters 13. And this was the attempted response from Dilhani Lakamge. And she is the only athlete that can deny De Lima, and it's not going to be enough. So, just like we saw in the men's shot put, it's the final throw that wins the competition from some of the best athletes in the world, and De Lima is definitely one of those when it comes to the javelin. And not the winner that I guess a lot of the people that have come to see would have wanted today, but in the end they've seen some world-class javelin throwing, and De Lima has taken the victory with that last attempt, and it's just that drama of sport. Now, we go back to the 100 meters. You can see that Gaurav has now decided he's accepted, or has he? 5. Timur 5. Timur-Asu, Senthil Kumar. Maham Al-Balushi goes in 6. Pranav Gurav is still there in lane 7. Lane 8 is empty, and Prabin Rana will go in 9. This time they get away. No, they don't. They don't. This is take me run. I'll win it. I'll win it on my own time. He'll be thinking. It does look like it's John, doesn't it, in lane 2. The officials still poring over the footage. This was meant to get started 10 minutes ago now. There is a lot going on inside the stadium. That was badly timed again. It's right at the end of the javelin. That's all finished now. We've got the long jump ongoing, of course. We'll hopefully go back to that very shortly. We've got the men's high jump that's about to start as well. I mean, the schedule is packed. It's great for us as athletics fans to get to watch so much. But again, it's about sort of the fans learning, I guess, about that. So the education of when to be quiet, when to cheer. And it's just actually great to see so many kids inside the stadium. The men's high jump is underway. It's Tiago Moura who leads the way there. Just at the top, some countback. In fact, it's a three-way tie. Jabub and Shankar all through in 2 meters 10. Very early stages of that competition. We've got the men's long jump coming up and the men's javelin as well. That is only about 40 minutes away. You might argue that is maybe the most stacked of all the finals in the field that we've got today.
The difference between the two boys is that Pranav Gurav has travelled only 2-hour flight from Mumbai to Bhubaneswar. This boy out there on a picture frame has travelled, I think, a good 12-13 hours from Australia.
And he's still fighting his case here as well. And also, he wasn't on the original list, so he's a fairly late entry. So, you have to weigh up these decisions with your coach. Should I go? Should I stay? Should I put some more training in? Is this the right time to get another race under my belt? And I'm fairly sure the argument that John will be making will be, you've let him go, so you've got to let me go as well. But it's quite difficult to argue against that, isn't it? As I say, we only have 6 in this race already. 2 might have gone already, in theory. But we may get 6 finishes for now.
Also the point, Richard, when the next 8 or 7 of them are waiting there in the wings, waiting to come out. Just imagine the patience that they need to have, isn't it?
Yes, and they would be wanting to go through their warm-up routines, and they're not able to do that right now. In fact, you wonder whether sometimes you wonder whether there could be a little bit of common sense here, and they let the athletes sort of warm up on the back straight, especially because there's nothing going on at the moment. They might have just gone back out to the back, head out to around the warm-up area, and just going through that again. They'll come back in through to the cool room. But yes, you're absolutely right. The protests, the arguments are still ongoing here, and you feel also for the innocent parties in this race as well. I mean, I've got to say, very impressed by Prameya Rana. He's basically just sat there on the blocks the whole time. He wants to keep his body moving a little bit. It's not cold out there or anything, but he'll want to make sure that he's going through his warm-up. See Al Belushi here, just going through a few strides, just to make sure he's going to tighten up. We don't want to see any hamstrings go, because you have warmed up, but you start to stiffen a little bit, because remember, the last half an hour, 45 minutes, they've been going through little drills, strides, getting their body woken up. You don't want to start to cool down again. It's not just about the heat out there. It's about making sure you're getting your body moving.
I remember the indoor stadium just behind us, 100 meters away. Last year in the 60 meters dash, there were 8 starters. 5 of them got disqualified over 17 minutes. Only 3 then were left in the end.
Well, it looks like Josiah John has accepted his punishment, and that's a little bit of a surprise actually. He's not going to take any further part, so we are getting settled ready again. We've seen the red and black cards shown to Gaurav already. He's still there running under protest, so we know that's been confirmed. Josiah John has gone, and again you feel for him. So lane 2 is, and they are away cleanly, and it's a good start on the outside from Central Kuma, and here goes Wiraratne leading the way, but Al Belushi's trying to close him down. It'll be close on the line, but it will be Wiraratne, who had no one either side of him. He just had to focus on himself. 10:23, the unofficial winning time, and that's the mark to beat. It's been made official with 10:27. And Al Belushi coming through for 10:33. And Wiraratne flew out the blocks. I thought Al Belushi might be able to catch her at one point. Seto Kumar also started well, but faded fairly quickly. And it's Gaurav who gets the 3rd place, but does he? And we'll find out very shortly when we get the official results, when they're all poured over. But from the original start list, we've got 1 disqualification. We may have another one through Pranav Gaurav. That argument will continue on. The coaches will be making their case to the officials. 3 didn't start the race. Josiah John, of course, went. But it is Dinath and Dwara Wiraratne of Sri Lanka who takes the win, 10:27, and that is the time to beat for the second of the 2 100-meter races. So just to mark your card about what we've got coming up for you.
silver medalist at the Asian Championships last year and at the last Asian Games. Looking to go one better this time in Japan. Looking to get the crowd involved. Come on, this is the time for you to lift her. There goes Ansi, very strong sprinting, attacks the board. Is it a clean jump? Yes, it is. 665 has been her best. Is this better?
Something of a victory lap there, wasn't it, for Ansi Sojan? And that, I mean, that's who a lot of the people have come to see here, isn't it? You've got the stars, the Indian stars. And now one of the highlights of the whole evening. You can hear the crowd getting excited. They're actually very excited about men's warm-up throws for the javelin. So imagine what it's going to be like when we get to the real thing. So here we go. The second of the two men's 100 metres races. In lane one, Chepo Chantini of South Africa, 10:20, his lifetime best set in April. There are a couple of no-shows, but not many. We've got the big showdown, though, coming up between Gauravinder Singh and Animesh Kujar. There is Rai Atago of Japan, lifetime best of 10:11. On the outside of him is Murazin Fakhmi. We think we saw Rita Diswe Milenga there as well. There's Ali Al-Balushi. Lanes 5 and 6 appear to be empty. Ali Al-Balushi is one real regular on the race circuit. It is Milenga there. He's having his bib reattached to his back. There he is, the former world youth champion. There's Ali Al-Balushi. Semi-finals at the World Indoor Championships in the 60 metres in Turin earlier this year. Heats in Paris and Tokyo. 6th at the Asian Championships. There is Gurinder Singh. 10:09, national record holder. They had a little battle between him and this man, Animesh Kujur. 10:40, his lifetime best, and he's been lowering that. Harjit Singh is on the outside of them. Now it's a seesaw battle for the national record between Singh, that's Gurinder Singh, and Animesh Kujur over the last few months. The national record was held by Kujur, 10:18. Gurinder Singh broke it, 10:17. In the next race, Kujur got it back again, 10:15. A day later, Singh went to 10:09, and he's the first Indian athlete who has dropped below 10:10. And then after that, just to make it all the more dramatic, Animesh Kujur ran the quickest time by an Indian athlete ever outside of India with a 10:14 in Germany in July. So it's all nicely set up, but it's not just about those two men. And the calibre of this field could mean that we see another national record potentially tonight. Just having a look at the wind, they might be heading just slightly into a headwind. You can see lanes 5 and 6 are empty. No Erasmus, no Koiki, who were due to be here. So it's Chantini in 1, Atago in 2, Fakhmi in 3, Milenga in 4. Al-Balushi goes in lane 7. It's Gurinder Singh in lane 8. Kujur in 9. Harjit Singh starts in 10. This stacked second race of the men's 100 metres after the relative chaos of the first race. This time they get away cleanly, and it's a quick starter on the outside from Chantini, but Gurinder Singh and Kujur are going well as well. It's going to be Chantini, is it, just on the inside from lane 1. No one was talking about the South African. 10:20, his lifetime best set in April. I think he's gone a lot lower than that. The clock inside the stadium is showing 10:11. We'll wait for the official time, but he's loving that. Chepo Chantini. He's celebrating. We're waiting for the official results to come up, but there's a little bit of battle.
A disappointment from the Indian viewpoint, we were looking at Gurvinder and Animesh Kuju to make the most of this opportunity with sprinters well above themselves and to get below that mark of 10.09, and it's still proving elusive. 64 years after the world broke 10 seconds, India is still struggling. Japan, China, Sri Lanka, Philippines have gone below 11.
This is a tense old wait for Chantini. It's the last time to show up, and it has been confirmed as 10.11. And it's a massive lifetime best for the South African. It's taken almost a whole 10th off of that. He finishes ahead of Ali Al-Balushi, such a regular on the Continental Tour. And he goes Raya Targo, who was given third place in the end. So we didn't quite see the battle that we wanted in terms of trying to better those times from Kujur and Singh, but there's been so much talk about them, hasn't there? Let's go down to trackside.
Hello everybody.
Have you raced in India before?
No, it's my first time here.
What do you think so far?
This place is too hot.
Too hot for him, but great performance. Coming home with the win. What's up next for you?
Well, I have 40 games in 2 weeks' time, so I'm looking forward to running a new PB again. But not a PB though. Yeah, I'm really excited.
It might be hot for him, but he brings home a PB. He's got a big competition in 2 weeks' time. Let's give it up for Tiantini, who just won our men's race B. Congratulations.
A win then for Chepo Tiantini. There's confirmation of the final results. 10.11 the winning time ahead of Ali Al-Balushi and Raya Targo. Ali Al-Balushi is waiting to speak to Shannon down on the track.
Congratulations on your race today. Have you raced in India before?
It's my first time. Thank you for that. Actually, I feel too good to race here. It's first time in my life, but the weather is too hot to tell you. Overheating. I don't know how we managed that, but at least we did something good.
The muscles were warm, the sweat was there, and the crowd, how were they? Did they bring you home?
Some people from warm-up area feeling like cramps. Yeah, but the people here, we have too much people, and I feel like it's like Olympic Games. When I've been in Olympic Games 2024, it was something seems like that, but Olympic Games is different. 65,000 is very huge.
Congratulations. Thank you for giving us a great show tonight. Big round of applause. Ali Al-Balushi.
So we've had a blistering 100 meters, not from the Indian perspective as Rupender Singh said, but nevertheless, yes, the time will come surely. Let's look at the positives. Remember Ranchi, as Richard just mentioned, drama over a day and a half, when first it was Gurinder Veer Singh, and then Animesh says, well, I'm going to get back to you, and then Gurinder Veer Singh said, it's my good day today. So we will, I'm sure, get those days once again as far as the sprints are concerned. We all live in hope, don't we, Rupinder?
Definitely. But since then, Gurvinder has been a bit off. He never came for the national championships. He went to the Commonwealth. He was a poor second, 10.39 at Glasgow. And today, once again, a disappointment. But they must compete more and more often with quality sprinters like they did today. So it's a learning curve, and they will learn that there are shades of 10.09. 10.09 when you're winning is easy, but when you're running behind someone who is slightly better, even if it's 10.10, you look like you're struggling. So always difficult to run from behind.
It's been a wonderful Saturday evening here as the Kalinga Stadium bathed in the lights. We had a good crowd out here today, school children who are willing to learn, willing to take up to track and field. When you start off with, we all know of the struggles. Some of them reading about and talking to Pooja a few months ago, started off using a bamboo as a pole for the high jump, and then with the sacks of husk in the village. Anu Rani, for example, would go into the fields to train at 3 o'clock in the morning or 4 o'clock in the morning because the villagers wouldn't like to see her in the athlete's attire.
Very difficult for girls to grow up in Uttar Pradesh. Remember, the first Tunisian, Hasiba Bulmaraka, had to train in Italy before she won the Olympics. So much the same in some of the states of India. Although Haryana has done well to encourage their girls, they dominate the wrestling, they dominate the throwing events, and they are coming up also in boxing in a big way.
Well, Rupinder, the other point about Haryana is it's not only been the throws and the jumps, but they've also now started excelling in the 100, 200 and the 400, which to me came as a big surprise. But obviously, there are people who inspire them to take up to the sprints also.
Yes, they did have a precedent in the form of the Prameya, who ran some brilliant 200 meters races below 21 seconds, and obviously there's lots to inspire, and there is the rewards that are slowly coming in to the sport in the terms of the governments, and Haryana has been at the forefront, now closely being followed by Tamil Nadu and Bihar, who are picking up in a big way.
We are about 7 minutes away from the women's 400 meters. That's the introduction for them. The high jumpers to the far right of a picture frame. This is the second of them, Lakshmi Mendes Sayuri of Sri Lanka. From an Indian perspective, that's the girl to watch out for. MR Puama, 36 years old. But she's going strong. 2014 Asian Games bronze and multiple Asian Championships.
Rashdeep Kaur, who went to Glasgow for the relays, mixed relay, been quite prominent on the circuit this year. There's been no clear dominance in the 400 meters. This is the girl I love. Vidya Ramaraj from Tamil Nadu, excelling both in the 400 and 400 hurdles.
Well, at the 2022 Asian Games, if you remember, she equaled the national record in the 400 meter hurdles of PT Usha. And you've been talking of the two girls one from America and one from Europe doing the 400 meters and the 400 meters hurdle. One of them, in fact, has gone now to the 800 meters.
Absolutely. That's the way to go. And that's what I was telling the winner of the 100 meters last year. Next year, you should be running 100 hurdles and you'll be licking Jyoti Yaraji. But obviously, she was hampered by injury. Happy to see her back, running freely, winning today, and hoping that I see her in the 110 hurdles. I see her with the potential to break Usha's record by over a second in the future.
So we're talking of the 400 meters, but the high jump for the men also continues. The 400 meters, incidentally, we've got about 5 minutes to go. I just read this morning a statement by Tejaswin Shankar, the high jump here at 2.19. Adarsh Ram, the young boy, he's still there. And Kushare is obviously, Sarvesh Kushare is not here. And Tejaswin Shankar has gone on to say that my record has been broken. I'm going to come back again strongly and break that record once again.
Yes, javelin and high jumps have been the story for Indian athletics. They've been doing very well and there's so much depth. Adarsh Ram won a bronze at the Indo. He qualified for the Commonwealth Games. He's jumped 227 and it was here that Sarvesh Kushare jumped. First time an Indian went over 230. In fact, the reason why Tejaswan stopped high jumping was, he said, I developed a mental barrier. I was not being able to go over 229. Sarvesh has broken it for him, so he wants to come back too.
This is Abdul Rahman Omar Sabar. He's now got one more to go at 2:19. If he doesn't, it's curtains for him. Skipped the first two. Oh, just at a time when he wanted to be there. So that's the end of the journey for him. Remember an event which, once again, I've been talking of records. Yaver Sotomayer's record.
Hand him over for a literature festival this time. The jumps, 3 jumps in fact, have been long-standing. The 1991 long jump duel between Mike Powell and Carl Lewis. Then the fabulous 1995 triple jump by Jonathan Edwards, which just a week ago someone challenged Dias jumping 18.15 to break that old one also. The 800 meters men and women are the other 2 world records. In fact, the woman is the longest standing record set in 1983 by Jarmila Pretachvilova, which Audrey Vero and Kelly Hodgkinson and Odisha of Kenya have been chasing, and it looks very imminent now.
So we're now going to be coming up for one more introduction, and that's going to be the one in the men's long jump. We've got a very strong field there, headed by Murli Sri Shankar. And this is back now again to the 400 meters for the women. From lane number 8, the first of them is Prachi. 2023 Asian Games and 2024 Asian Relay silver medal. She's an 8. 7 is going to be Ansa Babu. Speed, trust and teamwork is a motto. 6 is Kiran Pahal, Rohtak. She comes from gold at the Indian Open in Bihar. 5 is vacant. Then you got Vidya Ramraj in 4. She is the girl from Coimbatore. 2023 Asian Games bronze in the 400 hurdles. But this is a different cup of tea. Rushdeep Kaur, about whom Rupendra did mention. She is from the Ganduval village in Sangrur, a daughter of a farmer. And then you got M.R. Puamma, the 36-year-old grandmother, as I would really call her.
Saw her first when she was 17, winning the under 18 400 meters at Bangalore. But this is going to be an exciting race, maybe not such high quality, but there's been no clear favorite, no clear winner in all our competitions this year. And Pahel has won one, Uvamma has won one, and we have the interesting addition of Vidya Ramaraj having the luxury of concentrating on 400 and not looking at the hurdles also.
Well, remember someone saying that that's one lap of absolute torture.
Absolute torture. You never know when to slow down, when to go fast. But now it's a sprint event. Now it's no tactics. It's all out, all the way.
And the ultimate control sprint, as one would really calling, balancing the speed with energy and conservation. That's the 400 meters for you.
And strangely, Milind, people in the last lane, where they don't have to think about anyone, have been running splendidly. The world record set at the Olympics by Wayne Nickirk, 43.03, running in the outermost lane. And we saw a similar thing happening in the Diamond Leagues this year.
Why are we waiting there? Is it still a minute? Well, my watch said 7:01, slated at 1900 hours. It's good to see a packed crowd out here at the Kalinga. Well, Richard, I just mentioned that this is one lap of absolute torture.
It really is. Just this is a flat-out sprint, and the 800 meters has become a flat-out sprint now. I think I heard you just talking about the fact that grappling for that potential 800 meter world record in a women's event. We've also got Emmanuel Wanyonyi and Marco Arop going for the men's one as well, trying to beat that great record by David Rudisha. Looks like we're just about ready to go though. I think we're slightly held up by the javelin warm-up, but I'll hand it over to you.
So once again, slated to start was the Sri Lankan Sayuri Puamma into Rushdeep 3. Vidya Ramraj as they net out on the journey now. 400 meters. The crowd all goes up. They're rooting for Puamma. They're rooting for Vidya Ramraj. The two experienced girls out there. Far and right now. Look at them. They exploded out the tracks out there. The back straight now. It's very difficult to judge at this point of time. You got on the far outside. It's the girl Prachi from Uttar Pradesh. But this is where it will all start happening at the bend. At the 200 meters. As they would now come up with a controlled aggression. They're making the final bend now, about to start out here. But the experienced girl right in the center, Richard, is coming into the view.
That is it, streaking home here is Vidya Ramraj. And it's been a confident victory in the end. A good 10 metres or so, closing fairly impressively in lane 8. Was Prachi. But in the end, it is a victory for Vidya Ramraj. Has just waited for her moment, got to about 150 metres to go, put the afterburners on, and that was enough to destroy the rest of the field.
That's the girl who actually in 2022 at the Asian Games equaled PT Usha's record of the 400 meter hurdles. And here is this girl who comes back again to do the 400 meters and take it away.
And that's the girl I suggest doing a FMK ball in the future and being an Asian 800 meters champion, if not a Commonwealth and a world.
Well, Shannon has got something to ask this girl.
Yeah, just holding on that for now. We're just about to be introduced to all of the javelin throwers for tonight. It's going to be, we think, a stunning competition. There's confirmation of the results from the women's 400 metres. Vidya Ramraj with the victory by over half a second in the end over Prachi. One of the highlights of the evening is the men's javelin. We are due to have 12 going in this. Can't quite see 12 of them down there, so we're just going to go through and just confirm who is here and who isn't. The athletes being introduced to the crowd. So Yashvir Singh. So Rohit right there. Plenty of home athletes here, some Sri Lankans as well. We've got Dosh Schmidt as well from South Africa. There's Anand Singh. So short of what we're expecting, I think, of the full 12, unless some of them have skipped off already. There's the South African Dosh Schmidt, African bronze medalist in May. Just missed out on a medal at the Commonwealth Games in Glasgow. Ravi Rajasthan is right there. 77.24 is lifetime best, 75.36 this season. There's Rohit Chowdhury. Just need to confirm that the athletes who, do you see anyone else missing there from what you saw, Malind? We'll get confirmation in a minute. We see the full order. We're just looking at our live results that we have here, and it's not showing up of any the DNS next to it, so the does not start, but I think we are missing a couple here.
Well, the names originally to watch out for was Yashvir Singh and Rohit Yadav. Rohit Yadav was there in the picture frame.
So we're going to have a high quality competition anyway. We'll get this started in just a few moments' time. It's due to get started in 3 or 4 minutes. I wonder whether some of the athletes skipped off and decided to carry on with their warm-up instead of going through the official warm-up, the official lineup to introduce to the crowds. We're a little bit late to it as well, so hopefully we've got somewhere near the 12. As the athletes start to pick their implements, the javelins, get them ready. Warmed up, they've been out there for a good, 20, 25 minutes now. So they should have got their arm in by now. Nice and ready and loose. It's very different warming up compared to doing it for real. And next up on the track, we'll be focusing on the men's 400 meters. There are 2 races for that, so back to that same format again of the best overall time wins. It's going to be Arshdeep Singh who will get us started. So recently make a return from a period of ineligibility. Has Singh. His lifetime best is 80 meters and 15 centimeters, and he achieved that just a couple of months ago. But first of all, we're going to go back to the high jump. I know you gentlemen were talking just now about the national records and the battle for the top when it comes to the Indian athletes. The bar at the moment is at 2 meters and 22. And that was a final attempt. Unfortunately, we didn't see it. We'll come back to it and bring you up to date with what's going on there. In fact, that is the final result for you. So that was Fatak Bakjabub, who was giving his third and final efforts up at 2:22, and the winner is Adash Jyoti Shankar, 2:22. Needed 3 attempts to get over 2:22, and now we see whether he will continue on and try and improve on that mark. He's won the competition. Doesn't have to carry on if he doesn't want to. And here is one of the big stars of the night.
So there is Murli Sri Shankar. Real big comeback for this boy. Yes, he certainly is the man to watch out for, or the boy to watch out for. The doctors had given up on him, Richard. Everyone had given up on him. He and his physio said, I can do it, and they have done it.
First attempt then for the Commonwealth silver medalist. So close to winning a major title. Here's Sri Shankar. He can feel it in his grasp. In Glasgow, beaten by Tajai Gale, who himself has been on a bit of an odyssey to try and get a world title, or a big title for himself. Sri Shankar on the runway, and he has launched into the pit. Apologies, we moved away from that. We'll bring you up to date with what's going on. There is Yashveer Singh. Talking of Commonwealth medalists. He's gone over 80 metres with his first attempt. That's what we like to see. Gets the white flag as well. It's going to count. The men's javelin especially, just the length that you can get in with those throws. It's just magnificent to watch when they get it right. You get those 90-metre throws. It looks like it's almost going to launch outside the stadium at one point. Of course, it comes down very quickly. But it's just magnificent to see. There's not really a sight like that in athletics. There's the other when you see a pack with a distance race and they suddenly go and you visibly see the acceleration. But one of the other sort of exhilarating moments of athletics is always that javelin flying.
Richard, these days in India, if someone throws 80 plus or 81 or 82, you say that's not good enough.
Average. Well, it's 81 metres 49 for Yashveer Singh, and he goes into the early lead.
Anju Bobby George there as we shift back again to this man who also is the big one. 87.05, Rohit Yadav, Commonwealth Games and World Championship finalist. He's got a season's best also of 87.05. The javelin just about starting. Making sure that he built up the steam down the runway. No. somewhere in the mid 70s. Didn't get the elevation, went flat there. Did focus on the acceleration, but didn't get it the way he wanted it to be.
I can confirm the athletes that are missing. We did think that was the case. It's Kishore Jaina who's not here. Neither is Shivam Satish, and neither is Pedro Henrique Rodriguez of Brazil. So Rodriguez isn't here. Neither is Satish and neither is Jaina. So they are all missing. Here is Dhananjaya. Lifetime best of 75 meters 98. That's not going to be a million miles off that. He needs some serious luck and a big improvement to feature among the medals today. We're due to have 12 athletes competing, so we've missed 3. Reminds that the top 8 will only carry on through the whole competition, so we only have 1 to lose. It's going to be an unlucky situation for one athlete.
One more from the stable who's got 85 plus, 85.78. Sumida Ranasinghe of Sri Lanka. Richard, the javelin throw now seems to be becoming a little bit more popular than cricket is in Sri Lanka, isn't it?
Is that possible? I don't know. Maybe it is. You tell me. You watch Neeraj Chopra here. Is he becoming more important than cricket? I don't think so. Right?
Yes, he is. He is. I can tell you, if he goes to a show somewhere, he steals the show along with some of the big cricketers out there.
I'm not surprised, having seen the entourage following him around and the fandom around him as well, the crowds that gathered just for a javelin competition. There's nowhere else in the world, I think, maybe Sri Lanka now. There's not many other places in the world where you can get those kind of crowds for a javelin-only competition as he is. Here's Anand Singh with his first attempt. Has thrown over 80 metres previously. That's going to be around the 72, 73 metre mark. He'll take it. Got to take all the legal throws that you can get at the moment, just because of the fact as well that, you know, as I say, you don't want to be missing out, not going through the whole competition. Earlier on, by the way, we saw Shashanka about to start his competition, didn't we? But we didn't actually know what he managed to achieve in the end. He has started with no mark, so we didn't actually miss anything in the end. So good news. Leading the way is David with 7 meters 70. So early stage of the competition. We're only into the second round at the moment. Do Schmitz, African bronze medalist, regularly competes in the mid-80s. And well, that's one short of that. He's a little bit more diminutive for a javelin thrower. He's sort of around about, I don't know, 5'11" for his height. You also often get big, powerfully built javelin throwers. Stocky, powerful, and always competes like around that kind of mid-level, but can often creep into the top 3. He's someone that you can't rule out is Do Schmidt. If everyone else is having not quite the day that they want, they're having a bit of an off day, Schmidt can strike.
The third of the Sri Lankans now, Ravi Rathusan. Stops a wee bit in his stride out there, but ultimately comes up with something in the mid-70s once again. He's got his best of 85. He's got his best of 77.24. A season's best of 75.36. He's been the 2025 national champion silver medalist. 73.61, way below what he's capable of doing. We haven't seen Shivam Lokare, the gunner, out here. And the last of them, Rohit Chaudhary of Nepal. So after this, let's go across to the 400 meters, the fresh one.
Just bring you up to date though with how things look before we do head away to the next track event. So Yashvin Singh is leading away after round 1. He's the only athlete over 80 metres so far, ahead of Arshdeep Singh, and Do Schmidt is in 3rd place for now. And this is the first of the men's 400 metres. He's going to talk you through this one. A couple of lanes empty. You see lane 3 is absent. And once again, it's the top racer from both of them. So no time to go through the athletes who are competing in this one. It's lane 8 is also empty. So in 7 it's McCasey, Jacob in 6, in 5 is Panchal, and Osman is in 4. I think lane 3 is empty, and Del Pardo, I think, is going in lane 2. So they just get away nice and clean. It's a big gap between the front 4 there and the 5th athlete you can see in lane 2, but don't be shocked by that. Remember, lane 3 was left empty, so now they just start to get into their running, and it starts to unwind here. Going well in lane 6 is Jacob. It's alongside him, starting to come back strongly, is Yassine and Osman as well. But watch out in lane 4. Here comes Osman. He's going to come away with this one. No one can respond to the athlete in lane 4. Umar Osman with the victory, the Malaysian. And it took a little while to get going, that race, I have to say. But it was Osman who judged his race just about right, with about 100, 150 metres to go. Vikram Panchal in second place. And what did Del Padre do in the end? No, he didn't come through. It was Amos Jacob who finished in 47. Now, with about 150 metres to go, it was Jacob who was leading away. But Osman, in the end, just had the better strength. And it really is a real lung buster, the 400 metres. You can often see it's a straight out sprint. You always see them slowing at the end, just gasping for air, and the lactic starts to build up. But it was Osman who came back strongly in the end.
46.11 for Omar Usman of Malaysia. Vikrant Panchal and Amod Jacob tape 2 and 3. Amod Jacob, the more experienced of the two Indians out there, finishing in third with 47.00.
So 46.11 is the time to beat. The second of the 2 400 metre races gets started in 10 minutes time. See some of the victory ceremonies which are ongoing. This is the women's javelin. It's Kalima who won that one. We'll get back to the javelin. So we're into round 2 of the javelin. When we left it, it was Yashvir Singh who was leading the way. 81 metres 49. Next up is Rohit Yadav, and here is a man who can throw big. Here's a man who can take the win today. No mark in round 1. 87 metres and 5 centimetres. The PB he threw here 2 months ago. Looking to get on the board. Oh, and that is a great example of the conditions at play here. It's going to be a red flag. He's not going to, I think he just about had enough time, but maybe just the implement just came out of the area. But yeah, more of a concern here is Yadav okay? Because that was a nasty slip. It could have been a lot more dangerous. It could have been a lot worse for Rohit Yadav. Maybe just a bump and a bruise. You don't actually see that very often.
Absolutely. I think the conditions, yes, I thought it had stopped raining, although the runway there must be quite slippery.
I guess the issue here is, just from my own personal experience, not living in a country which is quite so humid, but when the rain comes down, because it's so humid, the track doesn't dry, so it just gets slippy. It's just that constant moisture on top of it. Once it's there, it's very hard to clear. You know, try and put some wet clothes on outside to dry it. It's rarely going to do so. Dhananjaya then, 72.22 his first attempt. And that looks very similar. It may be a little bit short actually. In fact, it's going to be a red flag. Doesn't want that recorded. They've just lost his balance. What you usually see in those situations, in these conditions, is you'll see the athletes give everything and plant their foot, and that's when they'll lose their balance, when it's quite so slippy as it is. But I'm surprised why Yadav actually, it was just about when he was starting to execute his action.
He should be one of the favorites out here. Although it's got 73.19. Plenty of dollars for the asking. Right from 1,600 down to $300. Certainly you do a lot of good shopping out here, isn't it?
Yes, that's one of the benefits of being a silver level World Athletics Continental Tour event. You know, the better prize money often means that you can attract more of the higher caliber athletes. And when we cut to that, what we didn't see was what the outcome of that throw was from Sumedha Ranasinghe, and it's over 80 meters, 29 centimeters. Not good enough to go into the lead and to go ahead of Yashvir Singh for now, but it is good enough to move into second. And now we're just starting to heat up a little bit in this men's javelin.
Yes, the javelin thrower there, particularly after that slip by Rohit Yadav, will be a little wary. Anand Singh now. Strong lad there, gets the javelin right into the flight path. Might improve on 71.99 for sure. Should be somewhere in the mid 70s. But you need to get over 80 for sure. If you get 85 plus out here today, the number one position should be for the asking. Yes, improved there, 75.06 for Anand Singh. He is from the state of Uttar Pradesh, started off with 71.99 and in the second comes up with a beauty at 75.06. So hitting the crossover there, the sideways, the rhythmic leg over leg strides coming from this man from the Republic of South Africa, Duo Smith, the 2026 African Championship bronze medalist. He's got 84.79 as his best, but he's now just struggling around 75. The third of the Sri Lankans, Ravi Ratusan. Gets his right hand thrusting out, but not good enough. He still will stay somewhere in the 70s where he started off with 73.61. We all felt that the explosive part of the action from him and the speed and the posture perhaps might get him something better. The last of the athletes out here representing Nepal, just 54.90. He's got a nice little action there, stops in the stride, but outside there, outside the zone, and the red will go up. Perhaps tried to put in too much into that one. And that is a no-show. Arshdeep comes back again. 80.15 is his best. That looks good. He's had two consistent ones at 78.71 and 78.82. This could be somewhere in a better zone than that, or perhaps around the same mark of 78 plus. Up now to the second of the big ones from India, Yashvir Singh, Rajasthan, the 2026 Commonwealth Games bronze medalist. He will want to get better than 81.49, which is where he is. That's a good one again, but short of the 80. He's been consistent, Richard.
Do you know what? I'm really enjoying just how much the crowds are loving javelin, and what it shows to me, and again, coming here last year for the Chocolate Classic, the passion that Indian athletics fans have for this event because they've seen most success in this event. And so if you can sort of translate that to every one of the disciplines, then you just sort of feel like India could be a superpower in terms of the fan support you get behind. You know, in bringing one of these, like in terms of the big atmospheres, it's just a massive amount of potential, isn't there, when you see the love for javelin throwing. But it's no improvement for Singh, short of 80 metres, 79.94, second best throw. Might mean something a little bit later on. But here is a man that needs to deliver, because Rohit Yadav currently sits in 9th position. He has to record something here if he's going out. Well, it looks like it might be just about good enough to keep him in the competition, which is going to be fine. I mean, you've got the Nepalese athlete Rohit Chowdhury, who doesn't have much of a record in terms of getting into the 70s and the 80s. So that's going to be enough for Yadav to start building from there. It's short of 80 metres, but after the slip that he had last time, I think he just wanted a little bit of like a confidence booster, that he was going to find that the footing was going to be all right, and get something solid. 75 metres 92 for Rohit Yadav. It's good enough to move him into 4th place.
We are now going to be coming up to the second of the 400 meters flat coming up.
That's really much you see that. This thing from Dhananjaya sits in 8th, but he's probably going to be okay. And, maybe a marginal improvement, if there is one, on the 72.22. And here we go, the second of the two 400-meter races, and the time to beat is 46.11. That's set by Umar Osman in the last round. There are a couple of no-shows, but it's a pretty talented race, this. Two of the most exciting African 400-meter talents in this. Plus, we are missing, though, the Indian record holder. Vishal is not due to go here. You can see that lane 7 is empty. That was due to be him. It's Kumar on the outside there in lane 8. So 7 is empty. Now watch out here for Justice Oretile in lane 4, the Botswanan. Hopefully we do have time, just about to go through all the athletes. So there's Joshua Atkinson, national record holder for Thailand. Manu Tekinalil Saji in lane 2. Kalinga Kumaragi, the experienced Sri Lankan, 33-year-olds in lane 3. Justice Oretile, 5th at the African Championships, semis at the Commonwealth Games in the 200 metres. He'll go in lane 4. Lane 5 is empty. That was due to be Thanadazi Ndlovu of Zimbabwe. Leonded Kukumaya of South Africa, just 19 years old. He's fresh from winning bronze at the World Under-20 Championships. Watch out for him. He's a 44.94 guy. Lane 7 is empty. And Jay Kumar, the 20-year-old, part of the 4x4 men's relay winning team at the Asian Championships last year, and that silver medal is going in lane 8. So 46.11 to beat, and you imagine it might go here. Nice and quiet for the starts, and beginning of this might be a little bit deceptive, that gap between lanes 8 and 6 and 4 due to the no-shows there. But going out quickly is Leonded Kukumaya, the 19-year-old South African, already starting to get up on Kumar. But watch out as well for Justice Oretile as they come through the 200-meter mark. Fairly even here between Oretile and Kukumaya, and Oretile maybe just about starting to move into the lead, but don't count out Kumaragi, the experienced Sri Lankan. Atkinson going okay as well in lane 1, but Oretile in the lead. They come into the final straight. Kukumaya though still has energy to burn. He's looking aside to Oretile, just toying with him, but Oretile is not having it. He's coming back, and Oretile will take the win. We just wonder whether Oretile there was just saying, you know, Kukumaya was looking inside him and saying, I've got this one. And Oretile thought, do you know what? No, you haven't. I'm going to take this. The Botswanan wins it, the 20-year-old. Such talent in Botswanan 400-meter running. Colin Kabina Chippy, of course, looking like he's going to turn into an absolute world beater. But here it is, Oretile, 45.35, easily the winner. Leonded Kukumaya getting second place, and we've just confirmed third. It is Kalinga Kumaragi who takes that. Interesting race how that unfolded in the final straight. I think Kukumaya looked like he had it won, or we thought he did.
That was close. He's got a triple Nelson there, the number which not many people like to wear on their bib numbers. Triple Nelson, as we all know, is what is unlucky in the game of cricket, but out here for justice. Interesting name, isn't it?
Yes. He might feel as justice done there, because I just wonder. Sometimes it's a confidence thing. Oh, let's see the replay of it actually. Kukamaya, with about 50 meters, 60 meters to go, was looking across to Oritile, almost toying with him, a little bit of bravado. Sometimes that can also be a sign that maybe you haven't got it won. You're trying to get in ahead of someone else instead. But Oritile just found something in the last 60 meters or so. Turning to the javelin.
So we are back to the javelin now once again. We are in round number 3. We would be looking at the numbers going up from here on in 4, 5 and 6. Weeding out that one from the boys who started out here, Rohit Chaudhary of Nepal. Surely would not be there. He's got 54.90. Wonder whether he's going to get anywhere close to that mark, which will get him into the finale. The Himalayas, he'll certainly have to be strong and standing tall, but he isn't out here. And the red goes up for the second time for him. So he started off with 54.90 and then the 2 crosses against him. So he should be surely out of the competition.
Yeah, that's it for Rohit Chaudhary. 54.90 his best. Back to the long jump. I haven't checked in with this for a little while. We have 2 more events left on the track. The men's and the women's 5,000 meters. The women's race will get us started. Leading the way, as you can see here, Shashanka. We are into round 4. 3 athletes that didn't start, so no one's been cut at this halfway mark with Shashanka. 8 meters and 7 centimeters. Look at that for consistency as well. We're talking about that today. No mark in round 1, but then just a 1 centimeter difference between his second and third, and it's still well short of what we know he can do. Divan Manuel sits in second place. Now there is a guy you will see on the tour all the time, it seems. Almost every single silver or bronze event, Divan Manuel seems to turn up, and he's always a consistent performer, so watch out for him. At 7.93, so it's those 2 who are at the top of the leaderboard for now, as we see more of the victory ceremonies. And this is the women's long jump from earlier on. And some handsome prizes for the top 6. For some of them come this way, won't quite repay the airfare. For others, it's a good night's work. It's now it all finished. Ansi Sorjan winning 6.71. We expected that to be the case, but Shali Singh was always going to be the main challenger. Couldn't go ahead of her national teammate. You've seen that Mohammed's finishing in 3rd place. And how's it all going to end up in the men's long jump? Still rounds left.
Richard, to me, the 3rd name there, Mubasina Mohammed, really strikes up because she comes from a far distance place called the Lakshadweep Islands, from where no athlete ever came before, and she's now there, an inspiration.
And just for context then, how far away is that for those that won't know?
It's in the Indian Ocean.
And I'm one of those. Well, that's remarkable, really, without the necessary infrastructure as well. And that just shows, again, you can find athletes with just sort of raw talent, and they just need to find the opportunities. You see that around the world. And here's a very established man. Shashanka, this is attempt number 4. He leads the way. He's the only man over 8 meters so far. Maybe just starting to go through the gears a little bit here. Shashanka, he'll be looking to improve on that. Settling into his processes. He's got a bit of star quality about him. Here we go then. Attempt number 4, 8 meters and 7 centimeters to beat. in front of one of the busiest stands here at the Kalinga Stadium tonight. He's just about to set off on his way. Clock runs down. Attempt number 4 then for Shashanka, the leader. It's hard to see from that angle, but I can see if he gets the white flag, he does. So it's going to count. You see the athletes in the foreground there, just going through their warm-up routines for the women's 5,000 meters. And waiting for the mark. 8 meters and 7 centimeters again, or almost 3 identical jumps from Shashanka. It's amazing how often you actually see that, to be honest.
Well, as if he had planned that for the evening here. 8.41 is what he's got. 8.38, the season's best. And we are now back to the javelin again for the men. Hotting up now. Anand Singh. .51 was his best so far, but the red is going to be the one which is going to put him back for a moment. Coming up now to Dow Smith of South Africa. Started off with 75.71, then dipped to 75.14 and dipped further with a cross there. Is right now lying in position number 5. Heaves and puts in it. Looks better than that 75 twice that he's achieved. Should be close to 76 or 77 for Smith of South Africa. So what do we have? We have the long jump going on and the javelin up here. And we now got Rohit Yadav.
76-79 for Smith, so no improvement for him.
He's finally been amongst the numbers now after that fall.
Yeah, and he might just taken confidence from that one. Expect him to go a little bit bigger here, perhaps. No. Maybe a little bit short of 80 metres. Not going to be enough to challenge the top 2, but he is just creeping closer to that 80-metre line. It's the just looking at us more watching his approach there instead of the actual technique, and it's kind of that everyone has their different style, but it's the sort of stuttered run that we see. The women's 5,000 meters is underway. Apologies, we weren't able to bring you the lineup for that just before we got started. There is a couple of starters who've not got underway in this one. Due to lead it was Diana Wanzer. I believe that is who we've got at the front there. So we'll come back to that in just a few moments' time as we return to the javelin competition.
So obviously the 5,000 meters and its very first lap. So we got plenty of time. Virtually close to about 15 odd minutes to go out here. Slated originally were at least a dozen names, but we've dropped down only to 5 now. At the back straight here in the second of the laps, which is coming up now. So we will stick to the javelin for some time. Arshdeep Singh will now come up to his 5th throw. He's got 78 point. Sumedha Ranasinghe of Sri Lanka, 80.29. He's lying in number 2 position. Yashveer Singh A no cause against the earlier throw of the Sri Lankan. Yashvir now comes up. Stopping in the stride there. Oh, he's got close to the 80. He's going to repeat that again. 81.49, keeping him in number 1. But this is surely short of 80, but he will keep himself in that position at 81.49. No one seems to be challenging him at this point of time. He's been consistent all the way through, creeping him up all the time.
See the women's 5,000 metres going on in the background, just trying to give you an update of what's going on there. There's just 5 athletes that started this race. Diana Wanzer is out in front, so just want to get a shot of who's on her shoulder. We think it might be Sanjivani Jadhav, but we'll bring you up to date with it as soon as we can. The all-comers record in India, 15 minutes, 12 seconds, 0.84. Kalinga Stadium record, 15.55, and I'll tell you, I wonder whether we might just see that go today. Ones especially is well within her capabilities, so it is for Jadhav. We're just looking at our computer system here as well. I'm looking at the start list, showing 8 athletes. We know there's only 5 down there, so we will bring you up to date with that. But we'll, for now, keep you up to date with what's going on in the javelin.
So in the background, they continue to gain the momentum out here. Dhananjaya comes back, the Sri Lankan. He is in number 8. He's got a lot of catching to do. And then back to Ravi Rathusan of Sri Lanka, the 3rd of the Sri Lankans. He's in 7. So the 2 Sri Lankans in 7 and 8 respectively. He's a big lad there, broad shoulders, puts everything in. This could be a better one.
I think that's going to be an improvement for Rajashan. He just needs to bring the fly to the javelin down a little bit more straight. He's got great height, and unfortunately, I mean, the conditions tonight for javelin are pretty much perfect, warm and pretty still. Anand Singh keeping closer to 80 meters. Rajasthan then 77.24. Anand Singh gets the white flag, just wait to see if he's improved on 75.51. Down on the women's 5,000 meters, just a gap starting to appear between Diana Wanzer and the athlete who is chasing her. Wanzer, the class athlete in this field, the African champion, as we go back to the long jump.
We come to the long jump at the right time to see Murli Sri Shankar. 8.06, 8.07 and 8.07. He is doing what Ivano Pedroso used to do at one point of time, the Cuban, as also Yahweh Sotomayor, a trend which the Cubans had set, asking the crowd to cheer him on. Is quite capable, as we all know, to get to that figure of 8.41. Is he going to really exert himself today? He knows that he's on top of the leaderboard with that 8.07. The next of them is way, way behind. But you never know, someone can just about sneak in. Puts in that big one out there. Is that good enough? The red goes up.
So it won't be an improvement then for Shashanka, who has just one attempt left, but he's in control of this. A bit concern there of the shoulder. Just landed a little bit awkwardly. Throw yourself into the pit. Over in the javelin. You may have just seen something pretty big. It's very hard to know where to look in the stadium when there's so much going on. I said the 5,000 meters is ongoing as well. There's Diana Wanzer. And look at the leads that she's just starting to build now. I'd say around 50 meters or so. the African champion who's just finished with a silver medal at the Commonwealth Games, finished behind Australia's Rose Davis, and started in a little bit of a small kind of pack. And now Wanza just stretching her legs, and I just wonder what she might be chasing here. In terms of the all-comers record, maybe it's a little bit beyond her potentially in terms of her lifetime best. 15 minutes 28 or so, her lifetime best. The all-comers, and I was saying before, so that's the best time in India by anyone, is 15 and 12. She's the sort of athlete that could push that kind of thing in a time trial. We're not seeing a lot of her, but just for some context, just the kind of athlete that she is and the competition she's up against in Kenya, such is the depth. She's only the 47th fastest Kenyan this year over 5,000 meters. So it really is incredible. But what she is a championship racer. She's won African Championship this year. She's won a Commonwealth silver medal. And sometimes the medals are all that matters. It's not so much about the times. But Wanza, look at this. A lead of around 60, 70 meters and growing.
Well, surely a country which has dominated the 5,000 and the 10,000 meters along with the Ethiopians, the Moroccans and the Algerians. We're just about halfway through here in the women's 5,000 meters. Because if you're looking anywhere close to the figure that she has 15 minutes 28.91, which is also the season's best, then in which case we are just about halfway through. 8 minutes plus out here, heading towards the 9th minute here in the women's 5,000 meters. We all thought at one point of time that there will be a game of cat and mouse between at least one and two of them. Wasn't to be, because the girl from Kenya, Diana Wanza, takes that huge lead. In fact, she laps the one of the Indians out here, going to lap one more into the 9th minute of this play. We all felt at the very beginning that no one wanted to take the lead and do all the hard work.
A little look at the watch there from Diana Wanza as she starts to lap some of the athletes here. And the Kenyan fully in control of this, and you can see she's clearly chasing something here. Potentially maybe a lifetime best is on here for the Kenyan, who started strongly and just sort of fancies it here. Sometimes you just feel good. You feel like there might be a quick time in there. Reminder that her lifetime best is 15:28 high, just under 15 and a half minutes.
She's going to lap the third of them now.
Yeah, just about to overtake Santoshi Shrestha. Going strong here is Diana Wanza. A little break in the javelin at the moment. The long jump is ongoing, so we'll bring you up to date. Not missing anything in the javelin for now. Still being led by Yashvir Singh with 1 round to